Welcome back. Full house here at the Gabba. Perfect conditions. And we're looking forward to a really great contest. Nice to be joined by Matty Campbell behind the microphone. Welcome, Matt.
Yes, good evening, Sandy. Just some late changes. Gary Moorcroft out of the selected side for Essendon. His game is now being replaced by Robert Forster Knight and Martin Pike, playing 150th game tonight.
Good luck to him, and also joining us down on the boundary, Victoria Carthew. Vic, good evening.
Good evening, Sandy. It's absolutely sensational down here. This crowd is deafening, and a massive Essendon contingent behind each goal, so the Lions fans are going to have to be loud. Beautiful weather, as you said, and just the slightest of breezes. Lions
have won the toss. They're kicking to the right. Crackers Keating is in the ruck, but he doesn't get an effective ball away. Going past was Ashcroft. He couldn't take it. Lappin gives it to Ackermanis. Off to the 150-gamer Pike. It's a high ball towards the half-forward line. Hardwick, two hard nuts, and it's Hardwick who defends to Ramanauskas. Rama comes wide towards, well, dangerous, because Brown has intercepted, and Henneman cannot believe it. The boy from South Warrnambool will go back and have the first shot at goal. 35 metres out, 45-degree angle.
A great start for the Brisbane Lions. They really do need a big output from the key forwards tonight, Alistair Lynch and Jonathan Brown. I know he's only 19, but it's a tough ask, but he really has to stand up and carry some of the onus tonight. Marcus Ashcroft already lining up on James Hird. Also Damien Peveril, the man picking up Jason Ackermanis, some of the key matchups early on. But a big kick to get the Lions started from Jonathan Brown.
14 goals so far this season. And what a start this would be for Brisbane. So reliant on a quick early burst. Brown splits the middle.
Perfect start for the Brisbane Lions. That's what they're looking for. They need to get this capacity crowd involved early. They need to be hard at it early to withstand the pressure that the Bombers are obviously going to apply. They tend to intimidate teams physically and mentally. And I think Lee Matthews just preempting a bit of the predator. If it bleeds, we can kill it. It's just an indication of how aggressive he wants his boys to be tonight.
Well, we've seen Essendon blow teams away in the first quarter, Jason, and Brisbane have to be involved in the contest, and they've certainly got the crowd going early here at the Gabba. Plenty to play for Brisbane. Need to stay in touch with the 8. Keating again. Brown comes through with some strength, trying to bust open a pack. Strange looking handball. We got it to Notting. Notting searching for Pike. Good tackle. Wrapped up beautifully. Keating down there low. Also Solomon in there. Umpire letting it go. Fished out the back by Lappin. Notting again. It's going to be very hard. Quick hands needed, and they got it from Simon Black. Notting, running himself into trouble. Brad Scott nowhere to go. Again Notting, plenty of the ball. Here's a chance now for the Bombers with Barnard, but it beats him over the line. Next to him is Jason Johnson, playing in his 50th game tonight.
And Matty, that little passage there is the perfect example of how physical and how much pressure that the Bombers put on their opposition. Just harassed them. They couldn't get a clean possession. But great to see Jonathan Brown really crashing into the centre off the square.
Yes, now it's Keating, who could be a very important player tonight with the late withdrawal yesterday of John Barnes. Here go the Bombers. Henneman has got Hardwick to his right, uses him. Hardwick now in some space. Out in front, the kick looking for Jacobs. With him is Johnson. Bit of a height match up there for Essendon. Jacobs does well, but Johnson just gets back to put enough pressure on. But there is Scotty Lucas. Diving through, getting the mark, and he's inside 50, Jason.
Well, he is a particularly good kick of the football, Scott Lucas. Distance will not be a trouble. If he kicks from anywhere around the 50-metre mark, he can kick it a good 55, 60 metres with a drop punt. And it's pretty much a player that thrives on confidence. If he gets a start early, he can be very, very damaging.
11 goals, 15 for the season. So accuracy has been a problem for him. Kicks right on the 50-metre line. And he just pushes it across, so just to behind for Scott Lucas. And you would suggest that he needs to kick them early, Jason, and he hasn't.
Well, good sign for the Lions. They've had a good kick at one end and a miss from one of the key forwards at the other end for the Bombers. It's just a huge crowd here. There's some great atmosphere in the Gabba now, isn't there?
Yeah, it's good to see. Johnson will bring it back into play. Now, it'll be interesting to see how Hill performs tonight. Coming into the Essendon lineup. Voss to Black. He's on the half-back line. He was away. Sneaks around Hird. Chips towards Hill and Keating. It's Hill's 20th birthday today. He celebrates it with Charlie Watts, the drummer of the Rolling Stones. Oh, and the War Twins. What a trifecta.
Charlie.
Here's Voss. Back towards the birthday boy himself, and he takes the mark in front of Keating. Hill on centre wing. Hard to believe Charlie's 60, isn't he? Into half forward, White, one of the flyers, a big pack of players. Waiting down an opportunity for McVeigh, tries to bend it back, but not quite far enough. Another behind on the board to the Bombers.
Looks like he might have taken that next step this year, Mark McVeigh. He's been one of those players that's been hanging around the periphery for a while at the Bombers, waiting his chance, and he really seems to have grabbed it with both hands this time in.
So Johnson again. Game number 140. Wellman and a spoiler, doesn't get a run out of it.
Good body work, Darryl White.
Yeah,
just
he
held
did well.
his opponent off.
White was the man who kept him out. Ackermanis been in blistering form this year. Away he goes to Michael Voss. Sneaks away from Rioli. Kicks towards Brown. They all went a little too early. The defenders are up. Running wide, an opportunity for Brisbane through Notting. He's 65 out, Tim Notting. Munro looking punting is anything but pretty, and it's going to be chopped off by Henneman. Heads to the outer side. They can set it up once again, and this is what they're so good at doing. Peverill goes from the half-back line over centre wing up towards Lucas territory. The boy from Camperdown just plucks it with the one hand and pulls it in. Swings round onto that trusty left foot, centering ball. Wasn't well directed. Notting got a little bit of it. Wasn't enough. Scott wants the boundary line, and he should find it. Howell, the bouncing ball. Will it beat the Bombers? And it will. Over the line and away from Adam Ramanauskas for a throw-in on left half forward.
Already the Bombers have made a change with the good start from Jonathan Brown. Aaron Henneman's gone straight off the ground, and it's Dean Solomon that's actually moved on to Jonathan Brown.
Keating and Hill to contest again. Good tight opening in perfect conditions. Keating wins it. Black running for him. Ackermanis taken out of it. Johnson put under the pump. Maybe a chance for the big man Hill. Bent over the ball but couldn't pick it up. They pile on top of him and we'll have another bounce.
It's great to see the good physical clashes, and it's all fair, it's all hard. They're at the ball, and if the opposition gets there first, they're making him earn it.
So it'll be a bounce down just outside the Essendon forward 50. They do have a height advantage up forward. We see there Jacobs with Chris Johnson, and also Chris Scott picking up Scott Lucas. So White is going with Heffernan. So certainly the advantage to the Bombers. Keating against Hill. Hill wins it well. Great tap. Johnson, that's Mark around the corner. White in the best spot for the Lions. Reads it. Good hands. Forgot to kick it.
Has to be a throw.
He just forgot to kick it. And now Lucas, well, he could bomb this from 55. He backs himself in. He just pushes it to the same side. Same result for Scott Lucas, just another behind.
Now you just wonder why he hurried that kick, because he made the distance comfortably. Why not go back and go through your normal pre-shot routine? Look at Darryl White. He wanted to play on. Then when he got grabbed, he sort of thought, well, maybe I'll play for holding the man here, but it was too late.
Definitely in two minds there. Quite often is the target for the kick-ins. That's a poor kick. That is, well, it was intended for White on the boundary side, but it went straight to Sean Wellman. He spots up a player on the lead. Guess who? Matthew Lloyd. Well, we talk about it all through the season. If you have a zone and the defending team don't kick the ball in well, you get caught on the way back, and that's exactly what Wellman was doing there. Spotted up Lloyd, who read it quickly and was able to lead Michael to the ball. Back in form last week with 8.
It was. Interesting matchup. He is in good form, kicked the bag against the Hawks. And Mal Michael now, he's certainly going to match him for strength, but Matthew Lloyd may have an advantage off the mark, and you'll see him go on some searching leads.
A marvellous player. This for goal number 40 for the season in the 10th round. And he gets it back, and he gets there first, Matty Lloyd.
Well, it's just so hard not to be a fan of Matthew Lloyd's. I mean, everything he does, he works hard, he does everything right. He's always on the lead, he always gives a contest, his second and third efforts are good. He has very good fitness, great spring, a good leap, very good hands, and he's an excellent kick. He is the complete package as far as a forward goes in today's game. And why wouldn't you be trying to spot him up as often as possible?
Just maybe tonight Lloyd will kick his 400th goal. He needs another 6. He's got his first. Crunched was Wellman. Talk about aggression. There was plenty there. Peverill's taken the ground, but the whistle's already sounded. Wellman has bounced back up again. He's okay.
He's come out hard, Jonathan Brown, tonight.
He has. This is Ramanauskas. Wellman's not 100% still behind play. And that's chopped off by Lappin. Notting. Wide. White is running with him. Brown is there as well for a little bit of protection. Not required by Notting.
Whoops.
Well, maybe it is. Here's the 150 gamer, one of football's nomads. It all started at the Norwood Footy Club in South Australia for Martin Pike. Smashed down by Hardwick, waiting down is Ramanauskas. Back to Hardwick once again, who wants the boundary line and finds it deliberately. One behind, just sneaking it in. So,
bit of a limp up, Sean Wellman, after that clash.
well, they are looking for him again, and here he is, taking the kick out. On the half-back flank, nodding on the mark. Nice to see Heffernan back in this Essendon lineup. He's had his problems. The boy from Terang. This is Barnard, though. Solomon. Dean Solomon towards the half-forward line once again, and what a potent line it is. If it's not Lloyd, then Big Jim will get you. James Hurd to kick just inside 50.
Yeah, you already mentioned a couple of height mismatches, Maddie, with Chris Scott on Scott Lucas and also Chris Johnson picking up Danny Jacobs. But Marcus Ashcroft also at a disadvantage in the air against James Hurd.
May not trouble the scorer. Well, if it does, only just. Way to the right. And just the one behind. For James Hurd, who's now playing his 140th game. One of the oldest in the Essendon lineup now, at the ripe old age of 28. There's Johnson.
Yeah, it's quite amazingly, Essendon, their most senior player games-wise is Dustin Fletcher with 159. Yet Martin Pike joins 7 players now for the Lions that have played 150 games or more. Essendon's so good, and yet still so young. Good lead by Darryl White. He is, as I said, off on the target from the kick-in. Little chip kick out there to Martin Pike. Started well. Chris Scott, who so often is the player they'll use to go lateral, but they haven't gone far. And Essendon now getting some numbers back. And in fact, they're getting them all back. Only Lloyd and Hurd really anywhere near their forward 50. The rest have gone back to make it crowded. Lynch and Fletcher. Lynch can't mark. Johnson, quick hands. Here's McVeigh. Spots up quickly. Barnard. Pike should read it the best and does. Good start to the 150 game of Martin Pike. Let's Morris Rioli know. 4 clubs. Said it before, amazingly, when he came to the club, Sandy, he already had a best and fairest on the wall. Never been done before, probably never again.
Fitzroy, yep.
Chris Scott to Johnson, back to Chris Scott. He's got to kick it quickly, and he does. Gets inside the forward 50, but it's all Dustin Fletcher. And Essendon doing very well in that magnificent defence back there. Just getting back and reading it, and giving the Lions no options. Fletcher goes short. Hardwick. How many times have we heard Fletcher to Hardwick? Now he goes towards the boundary. Choice of 2. McVeigh takes the mark. Copeland coming in. No, McRae coming in late. Again, they run it. Jacobs. Short. Good kick. Good mark. Heffernan.
Oh, he's called play on.
He's called play on now. I couldn't see that. It's going to fall to the Lions. McRae drew the player well. Got to Chris Scott. He can have a go. He can get it to Lynch if he draws the man. Now he does. Instead, it's Chris Johnson. Johnson runs himself to a bit of an angle. Not confident. Goes backwards. And gets it to Chris Scott. Gee, I thought he should have taken a shot.
He's off again.
Scott goes lateral, and it's Robert Copeland.
Gee, do you think they've done that in a roundabout way? They had the numbers, they probably could have run the ball in and had the shot on the run from about 15 metres out on a slight angle, but in the end, Chris Johnson just wasn't confident, was he?
And what they've done, they've now added a little bit of pressure because Robert Copeland's never scored before. This will be his first score. It's only his second game of AFL footy. So pressure-wise, he's certainly going to feel a lot more than Chris Scott. So, Robert Copeland. The Bombers lead by 3 points. This to reverse the margin in just his second game, as I mentioned. Should kick from about 35 metres. Angle shouldn't be a problem. The crowd
Dear.
and they're the Bomber crowd because he's missed. So all that conjecture we put into it, the end result, it's a point, Sandy.
Well, one thing that the Lions can't do tonight is waste opportunities. And that was a particularly good opportunity to get a score on the board. And we're talking about a goal, which will be pretty hard to come by tonight, I think.
Just over 10 minutes remaining in this first quarter. Fletcher again. Ramanauskas in the hole at half-back. A little pirouette from Rama. And they're away again. So often the attack is built on the last line of defence. As long as you take the footy with you, Damien Hardwick, and he goes back for it. He gives it back to Ramanaskas. Off to Solomon. Look out, because Ackermanis was closing fast. Good enough to give it to Peverill. Back once again. Here they go. The Bulldog Barnard is through the middle. It's a high drop punt up towards Hurd was in front. Lloyd at the back tries to get it out to Wellman. Shawnee Wellman, prolific goal kicker, goes across the face, and Darryl White takes it on the very last line of defence. White heads to the outer side. A little bit of respite for the Lions at the moment as Copeland, 1 minute a goal kicker, or an attempted goal kicker, now back on the back line. Here's Pike, thrown a lifeline in the draft, wasn't he, number 33, to continue his career, and Brisbane gave him that. Lappin turns his opponent inside out, back towards Scott again. A tentative, almost nervous bounce into the middle. That's going to be okay. Johnson is in the centre at the moment.
Just no options leading forward. That's the problem. He had to square the ball up because none of the forwards were actually running towards him.
Yeah, Brown had run down well earlier. He was completely out of it.
Gee, he looks down the ground. It's like a minefield.
Well, that's one thing that happens in today's game, Sandy. When you don't move the ball quickly, 30-odd players get in front of you, don't they?
And very smartly. Here's White. He's gone for the long bomb towards... And taking a sensational mark of the boy from South Warrnambool, Jonathan Brown. He pumps himself up for a game, and he pumped himself up tonight, Matty.
You talk about body language, and we heard Lee Matthews talk about the Predator tonight. If it bleeds, you can kill it. He has attacked the centre square. As soon as the ball's been bounced, he's been bowling in. He's taken players out as he's gone, and he has just taken the whole pack with him then.
Dare I say it, Sandy, that was Schwarzenegger.
Schwarzenegger.
I know you've been dying to say it. So here he goes.
His first kick was a beauty. You'd expect him to slot this one through pretty comfortably.
Brown for his second, and the lead for the Lions. They trail at the moment by 2 points. 30 metres out. He kicks it. 2 goals to Jonathan Brown. An excellent start by the Brisbane Lions.
He's a super player, Jonathan Brown. For someone that's only 19 years of age to hold down the centre-half forward position, I mean, look at the way he just attacks the ball as it comes in. It's outstanding. No fear. That's Carey-like coming across the pack like that with the flight of the ball. And he just gives every impression of being a future star of the game, Jonathan Brown.
Lee Matthews was looking for something at the start of the game. He's certainly getting it from Jonathan Brown at the moment with 2 goals from 2 strong marks. Voss, Hurd with him. Ashcroft goes with Hurd when he's in the middle. Black down low, perhaps a little bit high. But there'll be a ball up. 4-point margin to Brisbane as Jonathan Robran prepares to come on. Fletcher, the job on Alastair Lynch, who's been in a bit of form lately, Lynch. Settled down full forward. And we've got the opposite end, Michael and Lloyd. Not going far in there.
Secretly married recently, Mel Michael.
Yes, did it on the quiet. And he'd be looking for a little bit of a wedding present tonight, and that would be a win. Ball up in the centre once again. Plenty of players around the ball. Hill gets up well. Decides to grab it. Essendon force it forward. Chance there for Chris Johnson, who stole it from Heffernan, takes them on, runs himself into trouble, puts Voss under some pressure. Voss over towards Pike. Good kick, splitting up beautifully. And Martin Pike marks just outside the 50. What a great start for him. This will be possession number 6.
He has started in very good fashion, Martin Pike, and James Hurd's gone onto the ball. Marcus Ashcroft has gone with him.
Just perhaps a little bit out of his range here, Pike. Decides to go towards the top of the square. Where's Brown?
There.
He went for another one backwards. And it goes over the boundary line for a throw-in. And again, Brisbane leading by 4 points. 6.5 minutes remaining, first quarter.
Martin Pike looking for his second goal for the season. Wasn't to be. But Jonathan Brown, what a high-flying start it's been for him. Keating. Big effort, big second effort by Clark Keating to try and get it out towards Hart, who used his strength. Taken to the line out, we've got another throw-in. Jamie Charman, you saw, wearing 19 for Brisbane. Coming into the lineup. Keating, cleverly done. Lynch, well covered. Copeland, fresh air shot, left it behind. The door may open for the defence here for the Bombers, just to try and push it to that outer line, and Ackermanis hassling Peverill, and then Ackermanis asks the question, all to no avail. It'll be a throw-in.
A couple of the other matchups around the ground at the moment. You've got Mark McVeigh following Simon Black around, Mark Johnson on Michael Voss.
Keating and Hill again.
What are your thoughts, Jason, on the Ashcroft-Hurd situation?
Well, look, Marcus he's been in very good form this year, and he's obviously the player that thought, particularly on ball, is the one that can run with Hurd and do all that sort of thing. We're always worried about it because these days, as soon as you get a matchup like that, the tendency is to throw the star player forward, in this case Hurd, who clearly seems to have an advantage in the air.
Here's McVeigh's kick back towards centre wing, and he's closing in on your famous record too, Jason. Ashcroft heading towards that 269. What a wonderful player he's been. White, effective work against Heffernan. There's Keating with just a few minutes to go, having that customary spell.
Well, I think there's a number of matchups out in the ground at the moment that both coaches will persist with, and just to wait and see how they pan out.
At the back again, Johnson snapping in towards goal. Now there's been a whistle, and I think Hill might get a free kick
Against Charman.
So the young man has an opportunity of sending Essendon deep into attack. 20 years of age today, the boy from Peninsula. Too far out to score. He'll go in towards the pocket. Ackermanis trying to get a hand on it. Ashcroft is the back, gives it back to Ackermanis. They work pretty well. Push it back towards Hill, and he says thank you very much. He's a similar distance out, and he heads back to the same pocket as well. Ackermanis again was in front of the pack, didn't get a hand on it. This is Ashcroft coming across the face of goal. It's okay to Tim Notting. He's tucked in the back pocket. Thinks short of Lappin, maybe even Brown, perhaps longer to Scott. Scott has been the player earmarked. Brad Scott, of course, played with Hawthorn before joining Chris. To centre wing, waiting down Hart, hurriedly onto the left foot, just wobbles at 5 or 10 metres. Brown tries to use his strength. Hart goes again. Black working too. Can't get clear. Johnson is in there hard as he always is. And here comes Notting. Somehow he got out the back door. Goes onto the left foot, down towards Lynch. Can he get clear? Fletcher, Lynch, and the boundary line wins out. We've got a throw in the Lions' right forward pocket. They lead by 4 points.
Yeah, there's some players that are hard out there. Some great hands from Simon Black in the midst of all that. Just to dish the ball out to Tim Notting was brilliant.
Sean Hart having a go too, back in the side after a foot injury. And the battle between Fletcher and Lynch already, even though possession-wise nothing happening, it's just fascinating to watch the body on body. In now low again, this is McRae, and he's got a free kick, I think. And there's a report. So Dustin Fletcher's been reported.
Was it for a trip? You'd suggest it was for a trip, just how innocuous it appears to have come about. Dustin Fletcher doesn't look particularly surprised. He may have got caught off balance and just thrown the leg out.
Sometimes it's a reflex, isn't it?
Yep. And I think that's probably what happened in this case. We'll get a look at it here. You can see the ball coming out. Yep. He just throws out the right leg. Caught the body going one way, wanted to go the other way, throws it out and just makes a little ankle tap. Not much in it, but that's the laws of the game as they stand at the moment. And
you mentioned set shots before. I mean, Brisbane must take every opportunity. This is, in particular, McRae back in the side. He is a good kick for goal, but just to settle him. And he's kicked 4 goals, 3 for the season. I just think this will give Brisbane a bit of space here. They'll lead by 10 points. They didn't want Essendon to come out and blow them away. It certainly hasn't happened. He needs to finish off. And he does. Ten-point margin now to Brisbane. McRae gets his first. Brown has 2. It's the start they're looking for.
It is. They've taken it very slowly with Craig McRae. They've eased him back into the game, on and off the bench the last few weeks. It's been tough up forward. They've missed players like Sean Hart, McRae, also Damien Cupido through injury, and it's really robbed them of some goal-kicking power. The one thing they desperately need is Craig McRae in top form.
Craig McRae back in the Lions' den this week and kicking his 5th goal for the season. And a good start by Brisbane. 10 points the margin, couple of minutes left in this first quarter. Johnson out of the middle, a high ball up towards half forward. White was a fly, just trying to poke it down, was Notting, couldn't get clear. Back towards Brown and Co in the middle. He's had a marvellous first quarter, Jonathan Brown. There he is with Solomon.
Oh, he wants to go on
with this now. He's got to be careful. There is such a thing as a wrestling charge. Keep an eye on that, boys, because the player's been allowed to go on. Mal Michael leads in the race. He'll want the boundary line. He loses it cleverly once and then pushes to the line. They appear to have disentangled themselves, Matty, have they?
Yes, Jamie Charman was at the bottom of that. Very enthusiastic young kid, Jamie.
And there may be some donations made at the tribunal during the week.
Yeah.
Not much in it, but certainly they get pinged very quickly for wrestling these days.
Robran on the ball, and Hill came over the top. Michael just gives it back once again towards Notting. Hand pass partly smothered. They're going to be in trouble here. They're trying to find Black or Lappin. Lappin threw it to Black. He gets bundled up by Heffernan and also Johnson. Here's Hardwick hurriedly onto the left foot. It's a high ball in towards 50. A lot of Lions there. Chris Scott waiting down. Needs support from Hart. Got a call from Darryl White. It's a little bit wide. Solomon quick to pounce on him. Lucas was there as well. But Brown, it's a rainmaker. Peverill says, when's it coming down? So does Rioli. And it's Rioli who takes it. He plays on quickly. Comes to the outer side and Johnson too far out to score. Takes on Lappin, gets around him. Pushes forward in towards Lloyd and Co. Lloyd was at the back. And he gave a little bit of a nudge. Again, the Brisbane Lions a little bit of respite on the last line of defence.
Just need to be careful at the moment. They're overusing the ball. They're taking too long. And one thing you don't get against the Bombers is a lot of time.
And White has some at the moment, though, Jason, because he's streaming out of his defensive 50, going up the outer wing, looking for Hart. Hart doesn't let him down. Waits it beautifully at times, doesn't he, Jason?
Yep.
Here's Voss trying to get into the game. Michael Voss to the lead. Lynch couldn't quite get it. Fletcher comes at him. Quick hands. Ackermanis, he's caught. It goes back to Scott. Brad Scott off one step. Slews it straight up in the air. It suits Mark Johnson. He can't quite get it. It comes down. Nodding over the top, as is Wellman. Ball up inside the Lions 50.
There was such a clever kick from Michael Voss going into that forward line because there was no lead coming. He just kicked it to the side of the contest that Lynch was on, and it was a shame that he just couldn't hang on to it at the second grab. Would have been a beauty as we see Dean Rioli having a spell.
Corey McGrath coming on for Rioli. Big punch forward. It comes to Hart. He gives it to McRae on his wrong foot. He tries to bend it around. He tries to get it to bounce the way he likes, but it doesn't. Just the behind, McRae. But Brisbane doing well. Just on 1.5 minutes remaining, and they're in control by 11 points.
Jonathan Robran having a run in the ruck for the Bombers with Hill on the bench.
Mentioned McGrath having a bit of a run. His brother Ashley, a first-year player at the Lions.
Thank you, Vic.
And Hill's actually gone to centre-half forward for the moment, not the bench.
Victoria Carthew, our boundary rider tonight, keeping us up to date with everything's happening, and it's been a very good start, especially for the Brisbane Lions, but early days yet. Peverill gets a hurried kick, Notting in towards the middle, needs someone going past to turn the tide, and they've got it now. Now White is White, and he can really set something up here. Darryl White just chipping towards Johnson, who's been busy. Chrissy Johnson spearing it in towards Voss.
Well, how's the ankle?
He's 65 out. Some would suggest he could kick it from here. But he elects to just go across the face of goal and give the young man, one of the most famous names in football, another opportunity. Copeland. Too far out.
It's a little bit slow, the Brisbane Lions. They squared it up 2 or 3 times there, and it just let everyone get behind the football. Got to get that long, quick kick down forward.
Well, they're going to have to be quick because there's only they don't realise that only seconds remaining. He's gone to Johnson again. They need to find someone within scoring range and someone to take a mark.
Well, that's 5 kicks and they haven't gained any ground.
Lappin's exactly where they were before. And the siren's just about going to beat him.
Well, if it goes now, he'll have to go for a torpedo.
It'll be a repeat of Marcus Pickham last week.
He needs to pull up before the siren goes.
He's going for it. It's a fair kick.
Gee, that's a good shepherd. Oh, it hit the post.
What's a good shepherd, wasn't it?
And one behind will stand. A good first quarter here at the Gabba. The Lions, after going down to Adelaide last week, at one stage in the third quarter, they led by 20 points. They lost that one on their home turf, and they weren't happy. And now they're taking on the league leaders. the benchmark in the competition, the Bombers, and they're taking it right up to them in this first quarter. 3 goals for the Brisbane Lions. McRae 1, Brown 2. The Bombers 1 goal for. Matty Lloyd is their goal kicker. So the Bombers finding themselves with a challenge, Jason, here at quarter time at the Gabba, and it's good to see.
I'd suggest Lee Matthews would be very pleased. He wanted aggression and he got it. Led by Jonathan Brown, they have at every opportunity knocked the Bombers over. They've come out baring their teeth tonight, the Lions, but 1 quarter will not get the job done. There is a lot of football left, and you know that the Bombers will come for another 3 quarters.
Let's go down to the ground now, and Victoria Carthew has listened to both coaches. Vic, what can you tell us at quarter time?
Thanks, Andy. Kevin Sheedy not too unhappy at all. He said they were going to start with a rush. We always knew that. This is the quarter when you can step up. As for Jonathan Brown, I have to tell you, I'm not too surprised by what he's doing tonight. He actually did a leadership course during the week, and I'd say some of that has rubbed off on him.
Was it a leadership course or a commando course? He looks like a man at war tonight.
No wonder they spoke of Arnie.
Yeah. Commando.
Yes.
There's another one.
He'll be back. Well, let's see what does unfold in this second quarter. James Hird, well kept in the first. Just a couple of kicks and 1 mark. Matty Lloyd, 1 goal, making it 40 for the season for him. So into the second quarter now. Push towards the half-forward line. Ackermanis couldn't pick it up. Threaded back towards the middle and Lappin. Lappin gets a high kick. They head inside 50. Where's Brown and co? Couldn't take it, but Lynch is there. Bang! Runs into Hardwick. The 2-11s clash. Hart's kick was well smothered. Rioli shows skill and dash as he pummels it wide towards the outer wing. Johnson and Notting lead in the race, and it beats Notting over the line. Notting had an excellent first quarter. 11 possessions, 4 kicks, 7 hand passes. Don't forget, for all your football information, log on to i7sport.com.au, and it is all there for you. Keating again with Hill, front spot, Voss lurking, so too was Ackermanis, couldn't take it cleanly. Wellman was there as well, wide towards Scott and Lucas, and it's Chris Scott and Lucas set over the line. Full house. It looks as though we'll have a new record crowd here tonight.
Now we've got down on the bottom another ball up. So we've got Lions by 12 points. Another ball up. Tim Notting, 11 possessions in the first quarter. There is Hird and Ashcroft.
And Dean Rioli this quarter bobbed up in defence for the Bombers.
Keating again with Hill. Keating knocking it forward. Black doing well in close. Here's Rioli. Reads that the best. He's got plenty of time now. Goes back inside. Hardwick. Going straight up the ground. That's a beautiful kick by Hardwick. Wellman provided the lead. He's got it around centre wing now. Wellman, Lloyd coming on a long lead. Michael with him. Lloyd reads it beautifully and gets it. Play on. Play on. Harsh call for Matthew Lloyd, but he still gets it long and he still gets it to Ramanauskas.
Well, that's a classic example of not playing the whistle.
Yeah.
I mean, everyone thought that he'd taken the mark, and he probably did. I thought the mark should have been paid in the first place. But if they had reacted a little bit quicker, the Brisbane Lions, they could have shut Matthew Lloyd down. But he was good enough to get a quick kick to boot. Have a look at this. They're all standing around looking. And look at the kick. Straight into the hands of Adam Ramanauskas.
So from point-blank range, Adam Ramanauskas, well, he almost ran into the man of the mark. A bit of a stutter there, and it rubbed off on me, Sandy. His first. And the first for the second quarter.
Well, I think Victoria picked up on an important point made by Kevin Sheedy at quarter time. He said, we knew they were going to come out hard. They've pumped it up all week. They've known what's at stake tonight, the Lions. They were always going to come out hard. They've absorbed that now, the Bombers, and it's a matter of whether they can step up and whether the Lions can go with them this quarter.
First goal to Adam Ramanauskas and his 4th for the season. So will it be the Bombers who step it up in the second quarter? Hill over the top of Keating. Wide once again. Notting gets his hands on the leather once more. And there he is, still working hard at the bottom of the pack. Gets it out wide to Black. Black swings round onto the left foot. Centering ball in towards half. A crunch of players. That was Hardwick who came over. like a road train. He split the pack. Ackermanis gets out of the way pretty
Good
smartly.
hands.
Well done towards Hart. Now he can set up another one here. McRae bends it round the body. It's a high ball. Lynch uses his strength. Fletcher working hard in defence. Voss is there as well. Surrounded, but he still manages to get it back. Peveril is there. He gets caught, loses it, gives it to Hardwick. Pressure on the defence now. They're equal to the task. They come away to Rioli. He's on the half-back line. He'll look towards centre wing. Keating may crash in here late. He does, and Solomon will hold it up. Dean Solomon just on the defensive side of centre to half forward once again. Clean bowls, just about the lot of them. Taken away by Copeland, but not very far. Straight down the throat of Wellman. Sean Wellman copped a heavy knock in the first quarter, but he's recovered well. Into the forward line they go once again. The danger signs are up. Hurd tried to just a little toe poke. Didn't quite work, and Pikey says, blow this. It might be my 150th, but I'll give you a behind.
Damien Hardwick, didn't he come through hard? And have a look at the person he collectors. It just happens to be his teammate, Dean Rioli. Fair and square in the back. Thank you very much.
3-4 to 2-5. Johnson to kick in for the Lions. Wide. White, the target. Gets him. He's got some time to play on. And he just goes short to Nigel Lappin. And he has, in turn, Simon Black. Getting plenty of the ball, Black. Clever player. Ackermanis, a link man in the middle, running. Peveril chasing. Ackermanis. Lynch against Fletcher. Lynch on the second bite, he gets it. It's just a great duel.
It is. I'm so glad Alistair Lynch took that mark because he beat Dustin Fletcher cold a couple of moments ago. He was too strong for Dustin Fletcher. One place where he will get him is when they push and shove man to man. Have a look at this. He just gets him out of the way. He did it a couple of moments ago, but then missed the chest mark. That time, it bounced up. He took it at the second attempt and should now, Alistair Lynch from his first kick a goal.
20 goals for the season. Here's the leading goal kicker for the Lions. 2011 coming into this game. No problems for Lynch. That's their first for the quarter. Well done, Alistair.
Well, they don't show any signs of backing off from the vicious onslaught they had at the beginning of the game, the Brisbane Lions. They look committed. A very different team to the one we've seen over the last few weeks. They've built themselves up for this one. And it certainly shaped as a great clash. And you can just feel that the crowd expects a big one tonight as well. They're right in this game tonight.
404 career goals for Alistair Lynch. Lee Matthews, not a lot of emotion. A look of dogged determination. Hill up against Keating once again. Voss tries to get it out of the middle. Geez, clever. He's so clever. He wants Lynch, but they've got the numbers. Essendon, Rioli was the man who was targeted. Off to Solomon. Solomon from the half-back line. Pokes it out wide. Now the race is on for Hurd. He needs assistance. He gets caught. Well tackled by Ashcroft, who's wearing him like a glove. Ackermanis did well. Peveril gets a hurried kick down towards right half forward. Lappin tried to use the body, wasn't successful against McVeigh. Scott in trouble, taking it from Black, gives it to Voss. That was Brad Scott. This is Chris. Now this is Darryl White across half back. There's a player down behind play. Could be Black. In the meantime, White chipping towards the half forward line. It was a poor kick. Rioli is at the back. Runs into Johnson. He gets caught. A cry of ball. It's turned over. Ackermanis takes it towards 50. Black is okay. He's 40 metres out. Shoots towards goal. And here come the Lions.
Well, that's just huge at the moment. The Brisbane Lions are absolutely on fire. It was just pressure. They followed Dean Rioli in numbers, and he tried to dodge one. Another grabbed him from behind. They turned the ball over. Jason Ackermanis swooped on the loose one. He found Simon Black. It wasn't a particularly good kick, the centre ball from Darryl White, the bump from Johnson, but McRae followed up. Look at Ackermanis. He spots Black, and the important thing that Simon Black does is he just steadies. He backs off, steadies, and slots it.
Well, the sellout crowd expecting a big performance from the Lions, and they're certainly getting it. Simon Black with his 12th possession, his first goal. The Lions 17 points clear. Keating to do better with Hill. Great atmosphere here at the Gabba. Down low, Scott going over, Voss going over the top. Nowhere, and it'll be another ball up.
Andy, that was Copeland before that took that knock, and he's okay. They've kept him out there.
Thanks very much, Victoria.
Tim Notting and Sean Wellman, one of the key matchups out there. Rioli actually floating it loose in the back line at the moment, picking up whoever comes down. Lappin, McRae, a number of players that he's picking up at different times.
McRae just drawing him forward as we speak. Peveril reads it best off Keating. Up in the air, high ball. Notting and Wellman to do battle. Wellman tried to slap it forward, but it fell to Notting. He's well tackled. And again, another ball up. And it'll be umpire Ray Kelsey.
Tell you what's interesting at the moment is you've got Essendon with a 7 or 8 man forward line. And at the other end, there's only 3 or 4 in Brisbane's forward line. And both teams still trying to keep a player loose in defence. So it's quite lopsided, the number of players in each half of the ground.
Well, there's about 25 around this bounce down at the moment. So it's going to be very difficult to get a clean possession here. Goes straight to Ackermanis. He pops it straight up in the air. And they're all going to jump at it. Look at this. Over the top came Hardwick once again. Copeland, quick kick forward. Only 2 players up there. It's Lynch and Fletcher.
Not a free kick, please.
Solomon caught. Peveril gets clear, does well. Back to Jacobs. There, he spotted Rioli across the other side of the ground. Here's a real chance for Essendon now. Rioli's got plenty of time on the lead, and then McRae just cuts across. That's his opponent at the other end. McRae, quick kick to Black, and he's going to slow it down.
He's got Jonathan Brown if he can find it.
Yeah, he's got him now. Brown on the 50 now. He could get this from here.
He's in range. He should go back. He should go back and take his time.
Well, he's not going to. He's going to kick from 51. He's not going to quite have the legs. Lynch. Well, they're both on the ground. The ball's still in. Ackermanis still going. Peveril wants the boundary and gets it.
I'll tell you what.
Gee, that's good.
He is tossing Dustin Fletcher around Alistair Lynch, but there was a moment there at half back where he dead set assaulted Dustin Fletcher and he didn't get a free kick. Dustin, he was tackled, he was scragged, he was dragged to the ground and still didn't get the free kick.
Tell you what, there are some great contests going on out on this ground. It's wonderful to see. It's
one of the most,
the blood rule.
One of the most cleanly aggressive clashes I've seen all year. Marcus Ashcroft has done a particularly good job on James Hird. Still carrying a little niggly injury, James Hird, but he certainly played well enough last week, and Ashcroft has done a great job on him this week.
Look at a clash of heads it must have been for James Hird.
Probably when that pack of 25 flew for the up and under from Jason Ackermanis.
Probably Hardwick that scored him as well. Doesn't he go in?
I think that's why Rioli's kick fell a little short. He was wondering where Mr. Hardwick was. However, throw in the right forward pocket. Fletcher may even fly from behind, and he does, the big man, just trying to poke it out the back door. Jacobs over the top. Hardwick is there again. Fletcher lurking as the Bomber medical team go to work on the left-hand side of the James Hird forehead. Just a little tidying up job, nothing too serious. Brisbane leading 17 points. The Bombers have managed just 2 goals. Rioli looking for the free kick, didn't come his way. Notting is in there working hard. Wellman wanting to sneak clear, but not to be. Hard ball gets in this quarter. Brisbane 7, Essendon 4. Hill thought about trying to take it out of the air, but wasn't successful. Voss goes to ground. Hill takes him down, and again we've got a stalemate. 35 metres out.
Just winning the tactical battle at the moment, the Lions. They're very keen to keep a loose man in defence, and they started off with 1 loose man there. The Bombers would bring down their loose defender and play him as an extra forward. They did it 2 or 3 times. All of a sudden, they've got 7 or 8 down in their forward line, and it's a nice open forward line for the Brisbane Lions.
Still 35 metres out from their scoring zone. This time Hill tries to pluck it out of the air, but Lynch and co have him tied up, and he's going nowhere.
What's that, 4 in a row, 4 bounces?
Yep,
if you were cynical, you'd say there'd be a free kick.
We're due for something to happen here, aren't we? Yep. Let's see if they can clear it out. Oh, can the Lions score? Well, they've got it down there. Heffernan like a hot potato. Had it and lost it. Black goes to ground. Now we've got something to come out of this. Whistle has sounded. There's a little bit of pushing and shoving. Be careful.
The last thing the Lions want to do is get involved in this because they've got the ball.
Look who's got it. Jonathan Brown, and he's inside 50. He's kicked a couple. Solomon and co can't believe it.
You see James Hird getting patched up, ready to come back on. And 50 metres.
Well,
that is a gimme. I wonder if that was for a bit of lip. After the event, after there was some push and shove, I think a few of the Essendon players had something to say. And, well, the umpires, they cop a fair bit. But when it gets personal, when it gets abusive, they will march you 50. and that is just undisciplined.
Jonathan Brown now, point-blank range, shooting for his third, but more importantly, this to give the Lions a 23-point break. And he goals. Three goals to Jonathan Brown. A pumped-up Lions looking pretty good at the moment. Winning the ball out of the middle, centre bounce clearances. At this stage, 5 to Brisbane and 2 to the Bombers.
You've just got a capacity crowd here at the Gabba really enjoying this game at the moment. The Brisbane Lions are doing everything right, and they're hurting the Bombers where it counts the most on the scoreboard.
Huge Brisbane crowd really getting their money's worth here. 3 goals to 1 in the first quarter, identical so far in this second quarter, still with plenty of time before the half-time break. Hill with Keating. Voss wrapping up McVeigh. They've come to play, Brisbane. Voss, so good, hard ball gets, so good in close.
By the same token, Jason, the Bombers have had to be up, haven't they, for a few weeks now?
They have.
If you can catch them napping,
That's
this
the
can
right
happen.
time to get them. They had to get themselves up for Richmond, who were a pretender at the time, Hawthorn last week, so they had some big build-ups.
Keating belts it forward, but it falls to Dean Solomon. He gets some distance with the left boot inside the forward 50. Chance over the back. Johnson reads it best. That's Chris Johnson for Brisbane. 3 Johnsons out there tonight. Pike to the running Lappin. Hasn't got much on offer. Perhaps he's got to cut up through the middle.
Got to go to Alistair Lynch long.
Now he's going long. It's a hard running Simon Black. He's run 50 metres to get there. Won't get clean possession. Solomon comes in hard over the top, and Brown will come in as well. They wrap it up.
This is brilliant at the moment. The other thing you would suggest when you see a physical game like this, you don't think teams are going to kick 20, 25 goals. So, I mean, the margin we've got at the moment, whilst it's only 23 points, it's probably effectively a bigger margin than that in the context of the game.
But also with this great Essendon side, it's proven it's very hard to keep them quiet for 4 quarters.
And they can score quickly.
Lynch and Fletcher. Fletcher reads it best. Lynch gets a hand in there, spoils it.
Oh,
going to ground McRae. Also with him was Dean Rioli, and another ball up. But they're managing to hold the ball closer in their forward area. McRae's important at doing that.
Just the desperation of the players. Have a look at Craig McRae. Look at the pace that he comes in, trying to tap it onto the advantage of Alistair Lynch.
Hill. Keating, well, he won that. He tapped it towards Voss. Peveril, his man for the night, kicks it forward. McGrath, good handball. It's got Mark Johnson. He just can't get it cleanly. Now he does. Away go the Bombers now. Johnson through centre wing. On the lead is Barnard. Well clear. Barnard, he's off. He's been called to play on. White drifting back to create the extra man in the contest. High ball. Where's Lloyd? There's White. He couldn't mark it. Johnson, geez, in some form, Chris Johnson. He reads it well again, and he clears to the outer side where it's Headland.
Desi Headland getting one of his first touches. Notting has been very busy. Goes up towards centre wing and finds Jonathan Brown. Brown with 3 goals to his name. The Lions leading by 23 points, if you may have just joined us. Looks towards Keating. Gives the big man a real test. Hill is there with him. Keating does well to shove it a further 10 metres, but it's straight to Hardwick. And that's how he's been playing tonight, off towards Wellman. He's under pressure. Gets a kick of sorts towards the half-back line. Well, it's got to be a shove. It is a shove. And Headland plays on quickly. Scott is a target. Chris Scott, he's got him. Goes back once more to Voss. He unloads with a long bomb. Hey, here we are. How do you like that?
They are under siege at the moment, the Bombers, and they don't have the answers for what Brisbane is coming up with. Beautifully timed hand pass from Chris Scott. He just saw Michael Voss on the inside, and the hand pass released him on the burst to run for just outside 50. Good courage from Des Headland, won the ball originally, and look at the timing of the hand pass, and off 2 steps, the skipper drills it from 55.
Now, we might just wait on an official ruling here. There appears to be some concern. Voss is not concerned. He's gone back to the middle. So too is Hurd.
Plenty of chat.
The way Alistair Lynch is looking.
Lynch doesn't look happy.
It's going to be behind.
I think this is going to be signalled to behind.
2 flags will come up to change the score.
I'm going to have a look at this on replay, I think, because it looked like Michael Voss had kicked the goal. Here it comes. Keep your eye on the far goal post. Oh, that's a good change of decision, I think.
It's a great decision.
Well, look at that. It is now officially one behind.
Yep.
Flag has come up. The crowd, I think many of them didn't realise with the cross flags, but now they do, and they're not happy.
Important fight. Couple of minutes now, isn't it?
Well,
they may feel robbed,
very
Brisbane, but I think they got the decision right in the end.
So the goal is gone. One behind goes on the board. And play goes on. Where's Hill? He's got it at the back, and he almost gave himself a little bit of a shot. He goes again. He gets beautifully caught by Brown. Black now comes in over the top, but he's a little too enthusiastic. Hurd is away, up towards centre wing. Where's the pit ball? He's there, and he's strong, and he's hard. But the Lions are pretty fierce tonight as well. Scott over the line. We've got a throw in. Lucas and Co saying it was deliberate, but the umpire will have none of that.
Gee, you've got 36 players going at it out there at the moment. This is fantastic football to watch.
Clarify the score. Brisbane lead by 4 straight goals. Hill doing well. He's coming to the side lane. He's doing a good job. Charman on the ground now for the Lions. Black just poking it forward and getting about 20 metres. In the context of the game, Jason, Brisbane have done well to restrict the Bombers to just 2 goals.
They have. They've kept some of their key players out of the game as well. James Hurd hasn't had much input. And Matthew Lloyd just the 1 goal at this stage.
Charman did well, found himself in the right spot. Ackermanis with some pace. McRae, clever. Did he get enough on it to get it to Ashcroft? No, but he did to Black. Black round the corner. Will it stay in? I think it's going to be very close. Oh, a little knee jump there from Henneman, but he marked it. Now the switch of play. Essendon have got Rioli. You look ahead to see Wellman. He gets around easily.
See what the Bombers have done, Matty. They've got Dustin Fletcher at full forward now.
So away they go now to the outer side, looking to set up a loose man. It's not to be. Right with Barnard was Copeland. Johnson, clean to Pike, hugs the boundary, finds Voss. Voss now with some space. Looking up for Notting. He's got to go hard, and he does. Covers some ground, Tim Notting, off a wing.
It'll take a particularly good kick from that angle. He squares it up.
It's got to be clean. It is. It's Nigel Lappin. Well, we saw Nigel kick 4 goals last week. He ran into an open goal from 15 metres and missed it, but then came back and kicked every set shot.
Not only did we see him kick 4, he nominated that he'd kick 4.
Very good point, Sandy. He nominated before the game. He's going to kick 4, which was a career high for him.
Well, he certainly won't have any trouble with the distance. And it's an interesting move by the Bombers. Dustin Fletcher's gone to full forward. Darryl White's picking him up, and Aaron Henneman has come back on and is picking up Alistair Lynch at full back for the Bombers.
We saw McRae go off for a spell there. Bradshaw come on. So this a chance to atone for the reverse decision. Lappin from right on 50. He's not going to make the distance. It's going to be short. Brown!
There's touched off the boot.
Touched off the boot. Play on. Rioli there for the Bombers. Notting. Fishes it out. Bradshaw. Have to be careful going in like that. You want to get rid of it. Ball up just inside the 50.
Yep, Nigel Lappin normally wouldn't have trouble with that distance, but he just clipped the fingers of the man on the mark as he kicked. He got a little bit too close. He punched the ball in low, and it just takes the fingertips of Adam Ramanaskas.
Great work on the mark. Forced the error.
And a good tactical move from Lee Matthews. He's seen Dustin Fletcher go forward, so he's brought on another marking forward in Daniel Bradshaw to try and force them to bring a key player back.
Also, McRae hasn't played a lot of footy.
Yep,
playing bursts. Charman and Hill. Hill wins it. Lynch with strength, with pace, with skill. Oh, Alistair Lynch! Now, second goal, and what a goal. Want to see this one again, Jason?
That is brilliant. And I don't only want to see the goal, I want to see Alistair Lynch after he kicked it. I think he was in the crowd high-fiving.
And he fell
over against the fence. This is absolutely amazing. Have a look at Alistair Lynch. He shrugs off Sean Wellman, threads it through from an impossible angle. And this will be a great shot of it. Oh, threads the needle. That is a magnificent.
Here we go.
He's in with the crowd, and down he goes. It's got everything tonight, this game.
Sensational stuff.
The Lions can do no wrong.
Well, I'll tell you what, the crowd down at that end of the ground this quarter have certainly had their money's worth. Drama, goals that are goals that aren't, and Sheeds has got a few problems with the Harvey and co there. What a game. Brisbane looking for a boil over. Hill in the middle once again. Charman there as well. Who can win it out of the middle? It's gone the way of the Lions so far in this term. Barnard's kick is high. Smashed down towards the forward line. Here comes Fletcher. Look out, because here comes Lappin. Well done, Lappin. White goes even wider. They're out of trouble once again. The Lions are looking the goods at the moment as they push it up towards centre wing. Johnson's had a game and a half. 11 possessions.
They've just been prepared sometimes to slow it down when they break out quick and wait for numbers.
He goes short towards centre wing. Notting's been another one who's been sensational. 15 possessions. Here's Pike, the 150 gamer. Been a long time between drinks as far as the Bombers are concerned, and that itself is quite unique. Pike, in his 9th senior year, kicks up towards the right half forward line. Or going past, Lappin was ready to pounce on that ball. Black's there as well. There's Craig McRae on the sidelines.
So just getting a little bit of work on the cuff. One of the big points, I think, the big pluses for the Lions is they're winning the midfield, but they've got their key players in the middle in Black and Voss and also Ackermanis and Lappin, whereas the Bombers, well, they're missing Mercury, Masidi, Blumfeld, Heard little time on the bench, and unfortunately they're going with their second and third stringers, and no disrespect to them, but they're finding it tough.
Well, they are missing about a third of their premiership outfit, so we should remember that as well. That's not the point, as that was chopped off by Copeland on half-back. He comes wide towards Headland. Desi Headland recovers and looks now towards left half forward. Rioli was there, he got a hand on it, but that was all. Johnson, he bounced off a couple. He does a 360, gives it back to Scott. Scott goes in towards the pocket. The Lynch is going to have to be pretty smart. He can't get there, neither can Black. And the Bombers again are able to come away back towards centre wing. The mark taken by Lucas. Lucas looks towards Fletcher.
He's come a long way out from goal to get involved in the play.
He's just forward of centre wing. Goes towards the right half forward region. Lloyd too is still a long way away. This time he goes inside 50. Sees the bandaged Hurd, and James will have a shot. 45-degree angle, 45 metres out.
It's a great example of the skill of the Essendon team. Dustin Fletcher off one step found Matthew Lloyd on the lead, and then Lloyd off 2 steps found James Hurd on the lead.
He could have gone to Lloyd too if he wanted him then, just to improve the angle.
Why would you?
Well,
oh, it looked like it was going to swing in. It just faded, didn't it? We were right behind that one.
Rolled the fingers across the seam and it cut back.
So one behind goes on the board.
Just hasn't looked his normal self tonight, James Hurd, has he? But certainly we shouldn't take anything away from Marcus Ashcroft. He's
One
done a
goal,
great job.
2 they've kicked for this quarter, and the Brisbane Lions have kicked 4 goals, 1.
White, again the target from the kick in. Well, he got pulled off the ball.
Should have got the free.
Play on, chance for the Bombers. Got some numbers here. Barnard goes back. Peveril hooks it round the corner. Couple to choose from. Coming over the top was Michael. Good punch, but they were equal to it. Here's McVeigh racing in front of Michael, and he'll search for the boundary and get it. So some desperation there. Bombers starting to surge a bit. Sean Hart having a spell.
Matty Jason Johnson on the bench got the right boot off, having a little bit of work done on his foot.
So now, boundary thrown. Over the top came Fletcher. Well done to Ramanauskas. His kick doesn't travel far. Pike, well, he's very good at that, isn't he? When in doubt, rush.
2 behinds to Pike in his 150th.
Yep.
Play the percentages.
Wouldn't surprise me to get 4 more cent. He can call it a goal. But it is Brisbane still in control, but just the last couple of minutes, Essendon now pushing forward. 28-point margin. And will it be wide again? Oh, that's going to be very tight, the kick for Black. He keeps it in well.
Good hands.
And in the end, got it to Ashcroft. Lovely weighted kick towards Charman. The youngster's got to go. He's got to beat 3. He's not going to. He went to ground. Barnard got it to Fletcher. Fletcher up and under towards the danger zone. Jacobs, well, the only one really had a good go at that and probably should have got it. A chance now for Lucas. There's been a free kick.
Now Michael.
Now Michael with the free kick. You just get the feeling that perhaps Brisbane want to just go in it with about this margin. Just over 2 minutes remaining. They want to be very careful though. Ashcroft, wide, very wide indeed to Brad Scott. Headland has gone for him short again. That's just going to get there. Headland, perhaps to Chris Johnson. Yep. So they've worked it up towards the centre wing. Ackermanis often a link man there. Chris Johnson had a fantastic first half. This will be possession number 13. Again, just prepared to wait. Have to be spot on. She didn't leave much room for error there for Brad Scott.
It was risky, but he found the target.
All players moving forward. Brad Scott, and doesn't have a lot of options up forward. He's had to go wide to the flank towards Charman. And the young fella takes the mark.
Good kick and a good mark.
Charman now. Bradshaw is on the ground. He's a leading forward. He's lost Rioli, but I don't think Charman can kick it 70 metres. Instead, he goes for a strange kick. Headland did well, trapped it beautifully. Got it to Ashcroft. He in turn to a running player in Brad Scott again. This time the leading player is Bradshaw, and they got out of it, courtesy of Des Headland trapping the ball beautifully.
Well, he did great work, Des Headland, but you mentioned earlier that Daniel Bradshaw had lost Ian Rioli, and what he did was, even when he got ignored the first time, he kept on the move. He kept losing Rioli. Rioli had to keep looking back to check where the ball was, and then he came on the long lead, Bradshaw. And wouldn't this just be the perfect end to the half for the Brisbane Lions?
Well, his kicking let him down last week. This is going to get close to the man of the mark from 50. He gets under it. It's coming back, but not enough. It's just a behind.
There's one thing you can be sure, when the two teams do come out after half-time, I think Kevin Sheedy will have made some moves and there'll be some changes.
Ramanauskas.
Oops.
Oh, dear. Well, who's going to get away with it? We're inside the last 30 seconds. Hurd will be the flyer. He's in front of the Lions Social Club at the moment, and that will be rocking, considering the first half they've witnessed. Solomon. No one near him, so he's got a little bit of time. There's precious seconds tick away up towards half forward. Haven't seen a lot of it. Lucas. Hurried shot by McVeigh, goes in towards full forward. Fletcher was there, but it's slapped away from him. And also Barnard, and Black holds it out. And the Lions hold them out. Copeland pushes it towards the line as the siren sounds to end the first half. Hurd in trouble perhaps again.
Might have just popped the finger, I think. What a great spoil from Darryl White in the last dying seconds. Just got his arm in there to spoil Dustin Fletcher.
And just the momentum going to half-time. If Fletcher takes the mark, kicks the goal, it's completely reversed.
Lee Matthews looking for inspiration during the week from Arnold Schwarzenegger and the Predator.
He got it.
He's not yet saying hasta la vista, baby. But I tell you what,
he's got the second half to
just be thinking about it. He's still got the second half to do it, but don't write off the Bombers.
No, they won't quit.
This is a class outfit. And although they've only kicked 2 goals in the half, they're still there. It's half-time. The Lions are 7-6-48, and the Bombers 2-7-19. Here we go then. Second half here at the Gabba. The home side opening up with a 29-point lead. Crackers Keating tried to get a handle on it but couldn't. Notting's been very good. And he starts the second half as he completed the first. Gives it across towards Ashcroft. Does a 360, then turns it around. Gives it away towards Johnson. He too has been busy. They tried to chip it up towards the half-forward line. Hurd tried to sneak out the back door. Look at him. He's got an injured head, but he still puts his body in. This is Johnson again. He gets clear. He might score. Hart says go. He runs into a wall. Has to give it away towards Black. Black's 52 metres out. Comes across the ground to Pike. And he takes the mark.
Spotted him.
That's a brilliant kick.
He plays on. And this time it's Johnson again. Boy, is he picking up some possession.
He's been very good, Chris Johnson. The only criticism, and it's a tough one to draw on him, is just sometimes tries to overdo it. Needs to keep it simple.
Short again. Rioli smashes it away towards Johnson. Pike closes in on him, but he doesn't grab him. Kicks it back towards the half-back line. Brad Scott takes the mark. Pike again is loose, but he's too far out to score. McVeigh on the mark, holding him up. Wouldn't the Lions love the first goal in this second half? Pike, centering ball into a congested forward line. Henneman at the back. Caught, the ball is held. Hurd likewise. Hill hoists it clear. Back towards the half-back line. Johnson chops it off. Well, he wanted to go short. He thought about it. There's 34 players in one half of the ground. Make that 36 now because Lucas and Scott are also down in the half. So one half of this ground is absolutely barren. Johnson. Oops. He's got to thread the needle here.
That's just trying to force it. You can't do that.
Rioli was clean bowled. Brown's got strength. Gives it to Hart. Hart But a snap around the body into full forward, and Crackers Keating takes the mark.
I think they got a little bit lucky there, the Brisbane Lions. They really tried to force it with the pass from Johnson to Jonathan Brown. Once it gets to that sort of scenario, you've really got to kick it long to the top of the square and then try and get the crummers around the pack. But in the end, it was good work from Sean Hart, who got it forward. And Clark Keating, he just worked his way goal side of David Hill, and he was able to basically take an uncontested chess mark.
11 goals for the season. That's what lies ahead of him. Is he successful to make it 12?
Just opening up a little as he runs in, doing well.
No problems for Keating, no problems for the Lions.
Did it very well, Clark Keating. That's just the start the Brisbane Lions were looking for. And in the end, I think he did it particularly well. When you get on that tight angle, you can see the pass there, the real grass cutter, looking for Jonathan Brown. He actually did well to trap it for a moment. Sean Hart roving the pack well. And Clark Keating, he just took a nice long run up and he just crept a yard or two infield as he came in, gave himself a bit of angle and finished off well.
Keating's first, and perhaps a little bit fortunate, but the Lions have the first in the second half, just what they were looking for, and they get the margin out to 35 points. He's got the rucking duties now. Akamanis down low, forcing it forward. Essendon with the numbers and with the height and the skill, and that's Danny Jacobs. Playing on quickly, Hurd. Expect a fair bit of possession from him in this second half. Lloyd and Michael. Michael with the punch over the top. Where are the crummers for Essendon? Pike. Well, runs back into trouble, and then off to Johnson. Possession number 5 already for the third quarter. Headland. Well, he runs into trouble. He's lost it. Barnard. And it's holding the ball. Just again, the Brisbane a little bit cute. And Barnard can certainly make them pay here. Their forward line's a lot more open than Brisbane was a moment ago.
You understand what they're trying to do, the Lions. They're playing possession football. It's worked for them so far.
Designated kicker, Ramanauskas got the long one away. Fletcher, straight at it, and he gets an easy mark.
Well, I think his opponent just got lost in the little clash of about 2 or 3 pairs jostling for position at the top of the goal square. He was the one that broke away and showed very good hands to hold the mark. But if he's going to play forward, well, for it to pay dividends, he's probably got to kick 3 goals in the second half.
It's been a long time.
Get one here.
Been a long time coming, Jason. 2.5 minute mark of the second quarter was their last one, and now he gets their third. And can he get them started?
Well, that's what they're looking for. They need some marks taken up forward for the Bombers. And I've got no problem with Dustin Fletcher going forward. You just don't like seeing it happen at the expense of Matthew Lloyd, who all of a sudden finds himself in no man's land. He's still good enough to get involved in the play, Lloyd, but I'd still like to see him operating out of the square. Well, it appears they've got Lucas and Fletcher now operating out of the square, and Lloyd starting 30-odd metres in front of goal. It's an odd sort of setup.
So the scoreboard looking pretty good for the Lions boys from the bench at the moment. Although Fletcher gets one back. His first goal for the night, having been moved into attack. Keating wins it well, down towards Brown. He takes on a couple. It came off his boot and drifted towards Akamanis, still in the middle. Pike was in there as well, working hard. Still in the centre. Now at the back door towards Keating. Again, he gets a hand to it, but he's beaten by Peveril. A hurried left footer, only travels 15 or 20 metres. They've got it just inside 50 as Michael tries to sock it off the ground. Not successful, only goes 15 or 20 metres. Picked up by McVeigh. Passes on again, and Fletcher will have a shot.
Once he saw Mark McVeigh picking up that ball, Dustin Fletcher took off like it was the men's 100 metres at the Olympics. He exploded out of the blocks. Darryl White couldn't go with him, and it was a beautiful little pass from McVeigh. And all of a sudden, he might kick 2 in a minute, Dustin Fletcher. And is that the sort of thing that could lift the Bombers?
55 goals in his career. Kicking from 45 metres. Always left. And just the one behind.
Kicked it like a backman on that occasion.
Yep.
Sandy, I guess some bad news for Brisbane. Michael Voss is still in the rooms, just running out now with the dog.
What was the problem, Vic? Do you know?
He's running freely now. He's actually just come out with the physios, so he's running freely at the moment.
Oh, he's such an important cog in the Lions' wheel, isn't he?
14 possessions in the first half as well.
White. With relative ease. Towards centre wing. He's put some pressure on Akamanis here. He had to beat Fletcher and he had to beat Johnson. I'll tell you what, he just about did beat the two of them. Hurd chips in. He was taken high and he'll take a free kick. A little bit of urgency in Big Jim's game now as he goes to half forward.
Wasn't a great kick.
It wasn't, and it's chopped off by Scott towards McRae. That was Brad Scott. Craig McRae, originally from the Bay in South Australia, to Jonathan Brown. Takes it on the chest. He's got Lappin short if he wants him. He goes towards McRae, though, who follows it down, spearing it onto the left foot. The battle of strength is on down there, and Lynch enjoys that situation.
I'll tell you what, I like the kick from Craig McRae. He had a couple of short options, but he saw Alistair Lynch one out. And the way Lynch is, look, he's not grabbing everything tonight, but he's certainly winning the one-on-one muscle battles. So every right to kick it long to him in a one-on-one contest and then get the crummers around the feet.
30 metres out from the Brisbane goal. Keating down in front. We're also there, Hill. Plenty of players diving on it. It's hot. It's been hot and hard in close all evening.
And Danny Jacobs now on Jonathan Brown. That's an interesting one. Mel Michael and Matthew Lloyd's kept him reasonably quiet. And Ashcroft has followed Hurd from the word go.
Repeat. There's James Hurd. And over the top came Notting. He got some spring. He hits it towards McRae. McRae kicks the goal! Second goal to McRae, and great work from Tim Notting. The jumping jack goes over the top, and the possum hits it forward.
May as well be in the zoo.
Well, they have just they picked up where they've left off, the Brisbane Lions. Very difficult to see the Bombers getting back into this match at the moment. They look a little bit undermanned. They look flat. They're not hitting their targets all the time. And I think the Brisbane Lions might have hit their straps tonight. They've got themselves up. They realise what's at stake. They can really get their season kick-started tonight. And a win over the Bombers these days is basically like picking up 4 points over the rest of the competition. Michael Voss back on the ground. Isn't that good news for the Lions?
Yep, Headland having a spell. The Lions running hot at the moment. Keating wins it, but down to Wellman. Beautifully smothered, however. They want a couple of quick goals, the Bombers, if they're going to stay in this game. Johnson, the spoiler from behind. Michael was there, so too is Pike. Pike, he loses it. Could prove costly. Solomon takes it. Great kick for goal by Dean Solomon, taking it from McVeigh. Solomon gets his first goal and just his 5th this season.
That's a brilliant snap. I mean, Dean Solomon's another one that Sheeds has thrown forward. Hasn't he thrown some key defenders forward? He's got both Fletcher and Solomon operating down in the goal square. If you had said that was going to happen at the beginning of the match, you'd be a genius, wouldn't you? But it certainly paid dividends. They both kicked the goal this quarter, but they're going to need a lot more of it. Because every time they look like working their way back in, the Lions seem to answer very quickly.
Yes, but they kicked 2 goals 7 in the first half, Essendon, and already this quarter they've kicked 2 goals 1. Let's see what happens this time. Again, Keating with a big tap, wins it out of the middle, but they're not taking it out of the centre. The Bombers have a chance once again to go down towards Lucas and co. He can't get into the game, Scotty Lucas. In fact, he was taken out of it then once more. Socket off the ground by Johnson to Rioli. Rioli's just outside 50. What a pass to Fletcher. 1-2, couldn't take it. Solomon on all fours tried to get it out to Fletcher. Copeland's caught by Rioli. He goes to ground with Fletcher, and the ball is held. There will be a bounce.
I think he just took that too easy, Dustin Fletcher.
Yeah.
He probably should have taken it at the first grab, but in the end it popped up in front of him and he thought it was just going to be there to take it the second attempt. But Darryl White, he just kept coming. Got an arm in there and knocked it away. Well done, Darryl White.
Questions being asked of the Brisbane defence with the changes made by Sheedy. And here's Hill, who almost got a kick there. Reminauskas back towards Johnson. Solomon wrapped up by Notting. It spills free. Wellman. Essendon still a chance here. Wellman right back to the boundary. Puts Johnson under pressure. And again, Notting over the top with a hit to the line. Had a good game, Tim Notting. The Possum, as he's known up here in Brisbane, Sandy. And 2 goals apiece. This time it's Reminauskas over the top. Fletcher. It falls to Notting. Back to Scott. Brad Scott. Short to Simon Black. Relieve a bit of pressure. Slow it down. Short leads come. Perhaps Keating on the wing, but Lucas now finds him.
And go short to Chris Scott.
And so often that happens. He can play on if he likes. Essendon quite prepared to let him go, trying to force the contested ball.
Kick.
Lovely kick. Keating spills it. This is a real chance now for Essendon. Hurd, because there's Keating's opponent, Hill. He gets a shocking bounce. Oops. Copeland, a little bit fancy. Scott, Ackermanis cuts off the ball that was meant for Black. Now running. Keating, second chance. Lappin, further afield. Not going to use him. Lynch, one out.
I want to get it down to
Lynch
quickly.
Ashcroft. He can go over the top to McRae.
Lynch is calling for it. He's waving it down and they're not even looking down there.
Now Scott Lynch will be one-on-one. Where's the strength that he needs? He jumps. He almost gets it. Down in front. No crummers there for Brisbane. Lappin on hands and knees. Back. Stolen by Mark Johnson. Quick kick out. It was a good kick in the end. Play on. No, Mark called. Good decision.
Damien Peveril's done a particularly good job on Jason Ackermanis tonight.
Peveril breaks to the outer side. Well, the kick had to be good, and it was. It's Danny Jacobs. Want to be careful there. Jacobs. Again. They go wide, but it's Barnard. This is where they can just keep possession and then get a clean kick inside the forward 50. Solomon, they build the Bombers. That's a poor kick. Just when you give them a wrap, they do that. Ackermanis, away go the Lions now. On the rebound, Lappin, who wants support, gets it from his captain in Voss. Put him under pressure, but he's equal to it. He got it to McRae, who lets go from 60 metres. He needs a good bounce. He doesn't get it.
What about the quick hands from Michael Voss? He was about to be taken front on without any notice. Then he just slipped a little hand pass straight by his opponent to Craig McRae. Brilliant play to keep it alive.
28 points the margin. It was 29 at the long break. Ramanaskas. Heffernan, rarely sighted tonight as he comes back towards Johnson. Back to Heffernan again. Thought about Barnard short, but now goes longer towards Lloyd. Outside 50, doesn't let him down.
He's got Wellman breaking into space if he gets back quickly. Still got Wellman.
Still got Wellman. He spotted him now. And Sean Wellman will go back from 40 metres and short pass. A better angle for Barnard. Similar distance, kicking from 40, but almost directly in front.
And he's proven himself a capable goal kicker this year, Paul Barnard. He's been used at both ends of the ground by Shooty. He's done well in defence, but also done very well in attack. He's kicked a couple of bags of 3 and 4 goals at a time. And they've got to make everyone count at the moment. The Bombers, crucial kick this one.
29 points, the margin. I gave them a point a moment ago. This to cut it to 23. 14 goals he's kicked this season. And Barnard has gone away to the left.
That hurts.
It's not their night tonight. In front. So it will be Johnson, the designated kicker, to bring it back in.
Again, White. No, Keating.
Keating is the man. High fly from behind, couldn't take it, and Simon Black is over the line on the outer side. There's Craig Bolton on the sidelines having a run now. Don't forget, of course, if you want to log on for all the football news, you can do so. This is one of the things Jason does when he's on tours, is to get back to the motel room and get straight onto the computer, i7.com.au. You never see him. Fletcher around the body. In towards full forward. Solomon was there. Flicked away from him. It passes Pike. Not out of the danger zone yet. Pike he goes again. He wants to remember his 150th game. It's taken long enough to get there for him. He started at Nord. He went to Melbourne. Then he went to Fitzroy. Then he went to the Kangaroos. Then he said, where will I finish up? In the draft. Number 33, and he's with the Lions.
And he's had a good game so far. And he needs to continue, as do all the Lions, if they're going to knock off the Premiers. Ackermanis lost it. Rioli. Lucas, good tackling by Scott. Rioli a second chance. Quick little give to Barnard. Now they're away. They've got two players here. Solomon. Ramanaskas can get distance from 50. It's going to go close. A big leap from McVeigh. He's up early and he's up over. And it's a free kick.
Gee, I tell you what.
He got up though.
For a bloke his size, straight onto the head of Mal Eichel. What a leap.
Now they've got a couple of players here, Brisbane. Ashcroft to Lappin. Copeland breaks for him. Lappin can pop it over the top to Brown or Copeland. Brown couldn't get it. Copeland wants the boundary. Brown now. Will he keep it in? No. Over the top. Boundary throw in. Centre wing just in front of the Channel 7 commentary position. 28-point margin. It's a tight third quarter. 2 goals apiece. Jonathan Brown, the leading goal kicker on the ground at the moment with 3 goals. It'll be Keating to do battle with Lucas in the ruck for Essendon. They do have a spare player up forward at the moment. As Keating punches it forward, Ramanaskas with him, Jason Johnson. Read it well, did it beautifully. Beats Lappin, got it to Lucas. Kicks it straight into Rioli. Take that. Brown with some strength to Black. He's clear. He looks up, sees Lynch. Good spoil. Henneman In fact, that's a mark.
That is a mark.
And that should be paid, and it's not. He'll be feeling aggrieved. Off the ground goes Johnson. A bit of luck there. It falls towards Lucas. He runs into a bit of trouble. Hooks around the body. Ashcroft and Hurd. Ashcroft did well and holding on.
Yeah. James Hurd had a handful of jumper. I think he's pleading that it was a bit the other way.
Kick to Black. Took that down low.
Got to go back.
He's going to go all the way back to Brad Scott. Still deep inside the 50 is a one-on-one contest. If Lynch can get a run at it, he comes late. Oh, there's a bit of pushing and shoving there.
Oh.
There's a holding free kick and it's going to Essendon.
Henneman just popping it over the top to accommodate Johnson. This is Mark Johnson. His 49th game. The Bombers can perhaps open something up here. Barnard streaming down the ground. They go further afield though. Solomon just outside 50. Fletcher's calling for it long. Daryl White's got him covered.
Brad Scott just jumped into the hole, stopped any of the leads coming straight towards Dean Solomon.
Wellman is down there as well. Drawn just a little too far underneath. Lappin is able to come away, but he's given him another chance, maybe Solomon. Kicked it straight back to him. Johnson locks him up. Peveril comes in. Johnson will go again for the Lions. He's had a wonderful night as well. Needs support and needs it rapidly. Socket off the ground or an attempt to by Hart. Doesn't travel a great deal of distance and he goes again. Once more the Bombers will have the opportunity to come forward. Johnson has a look downfield. Spearing it wide towards Solomon. Can't take the mark. It's over the line. We've got a throw in on the outer side. We've got just under 6 minutes remaining in the third quarter. And really the Bombers not making any major impression on the scoreboard in this quarter. Keating with two hands. Ramanauskas bounces off one. Rioli caught. Tries to get rid of it and does. Copeland, a high ball.
Here they go.
Get a load of that one, they say. Johnson leads in the race. He'll come inboard to Hardwick if he wants. And he does want. Damien Hardwick goes onto the left foot, pushing it back towards right half forward. Smashed down once more. An opportunity for the Bombers. Given away towards Lucas. He's been pretty quiet tonight. Gets his kick just in time. Up to half forward. Daryl White goes floating over the pack. Couldn't take it cleanly. Maybe the door will open now for Hurd. He's got it inside 50.
He paid the free kick anyway, the umpire, so mark or a free kick, both ways he got it. He had front position. And boy, talk about a captain's kick.
Are they having to work for their goals?
They are. You just get the feeling though, look, you play the top team and you play so well, you expect them to come back.
Yep.
And if they kick 2 or 3 on the trot, you think, uh-oh, here they come. And it places a bit of doubt in your mind.
Captain's goal is required.
That has just slewed off the outside of the boot.
Not pretty.
That's 2 chances, Barnard and Hurd. It really could be a different story now, wouldn't it?
Oh, all of a sudden the pressure would be on. 3 goals.
From set shots, Essendon 7 behind, the Brisbane Lions 3.
Well, an opportunity perhaps for the Lions. They've just stopped scoring at the moment. And they go around the outer side with a couple of short passes to Voss. Brisbane will need to continue to kick goals to win the game as Lappin goes wide. He's searching for the boundary, I feel, there, and he got it. And in fact, he got it too far on the full, so they've turned it over. And here come the Bombers. Peveril down low. Hard arrives late. They've got a running player, Fletcher, to Hardwick. Looking for an option up forward. Here comes James Hurd. He's going to go late, but Michael spoiled Copeland. He went the safety option, and in the end, Wellman just roves it beautifully and goes long towards goal. Oh! And it's touched as Daryl White says hello to the goalpost. And almost a goal out of nothing there from Essendon.
It was. You just get the feeling Mal Michael probably should have been able to see what was happening in front of him and just protected the back of his teammate Copeland, allowed him to take the mark. Good work from Daryl White. It's a combination. He took Matthew Lloyd out and spoilt the ball. The
ball has spent a lot of time in the Essendon forward 50 in the last 5 or so minutes. Johnson, Premiers, looking to get a goal, get some reward for all their work. Gets it outside 50. White from behind gets it. Why wouldn't you go to Daryl White on those kicks? Black, no one to kick to again.
He's played well, Simon Black.
And now they've kept it in beautifully. They've done it again, Essendon. And pretty soon they're going to get a goal out of one of these forays. And it could be now. Lloyd 60 metres out, wheels around onto the left. He wants Solomon from behind. He goes up. It comes down to the bottom. Copeland there for Brisbane. They're running out now. They need to get running. Johnson, gee, he likes to do a lot with it, doesn't he? Voss, Scott, going to be caught. Not a good kick. Oh, he gets taken out. Advantage.
It's coming back further. Back to
you wonder why
Bradshaw.
Sean wears the helmet. Gee, that would have hurt.
Crucial 3.5 minutes now remaining in this quarter. Here's Lappin on centre wing. Heffernan on the mark. Brown the target. 3 early goals to Jonathan Brown. The Lions skipped away in the first half, and the Bombers have been playing catch-up football for most of the night. 4 goals, 11. Plays 9-7. It is the lead. Kick has to be good. Well, it bounces off the chest of Alistair Lynch, and annoyed with himself that he couldn't take advantage of the opportunity. Henneman sees it over the line.
He's kicked 2 goals from 2 kicks, Alistair Lynch. He's worked hard. He's had a couple of opportunities to mark the ball and just hasn't hung on to it. Just let himself down.
Done some great muscling work, hasn't he, down in that forward line over the head of Ramanauskas. Johnson, an interesting hand pass straight to Lappin, but he's well tackled. Ackermanis couldn't take it. Ramanauskas a little too long. Lucas, a good tackle. Headland, if he can pick it up, he does. Off to Chris Scott. Short little chip is okay to Copeland. Just travel the required distance, and they continue to travel laterally. Darryl White is almost on the defensive side of centre, but it's a long, low pass. He was looking for Jonathan Brown, didn't find him. Pike picked up by Pike. And now I think that's behind number 3 for Pike, so he's halfway there.
2 at one end and 1 at the other, though. 1 forward, 2 back.
Thank you, Matthew.
A bit like a frog trying to get out of a well.
Well, I haven't watched a lot of that recently, but you've obviously had Arnold Schwarzenegger up here this week, and he's had a fairly profound effect on everyone. Jacobs. Short to Hardwick. Hardwick to the outer side. And Fletcher.
Interesting that Fletcher's gone back after kicking an early goal this quarter.
2 minutes remaining in the half.
Big leap there, and it's a good mark. It's taken by McGrath. McGrath looking for Solomon on the lead. Johnson right with him. Got him. Oh, well done, McGrath. To Johnson. Jason Johnson kicks the goal. First goal to Jason Johnson, but importantly, Jason, they've broken the deadlock. They've got 3 goals this quarter. Brisbane have got 2. And if they can manage to squeeze one before 3/4 time...
They're still close enough. I mean, we know how good the Bombers are, how quickly they can score. They're inside 4 goals. It looked like it might have been a throw coming from Dean Solomon. A throw or a tap, not quite sure, but Jason Johnson finished off well.
...50 games for Jason Johnson, his first goal, and the Bombers within 21 points. And bench looking on. Charman, a young fella in ruck. Plenty of players in there. Hurd, Voss. Needs to get back into the game. Around the corner. Should suit Essendon here. Over the back. It almost fell for Ackermanis. Peveril. We want to be careful. He spills out the back. Hart, left footer to Headland. Likes to kick on the left.
Oh,
and here's a chance for Lynch. He's stolen it. Has he kicked it? He has! We've seen some lucky goals tonight, and there's one for Alistair Lynch, and he's kicked 3.
Well, from limited opportunities, he's done very well. 3 kicks for 3 goals, Alistair Lynch. And it looked like it was great work from Aaron Henneman. He got that outstretched arm to the ball, but it popped up. And Alistair Lynch, he just jumped on it, managed to get it through before Mark Johnson came back and took him out. And the perfect answer late in this quarter for the Lions. You just think if the Bombers were within 4 kicks, you'd give them a chance. But anything more than that, you think it's going to be too much.
Big psychological goal, that one. It's 3 goals apiece for the quarter now, and the Lions have got it back on an even keel. Close to siren time, though, in this 3rd quarter. Sharman doing the work at the bottom of the pack. Welcome to the big time. Ramanauskas also loses it to Rioli. Rioli spearing it out towards Lloyd. Going to be caught on his right foot. Gee, he was well tackled.
He did that well. He did that well, Matthew Lloyd.
And
I think when you have a look at the replay, Sandy, I think you'll find he shoots out a little hand pass straight away. There's the hand pass.
Yeah, he did.
And then he's taken to ground straight after. Now, it's one of shows that sometimes they let it go and they call play on. But, a pretty stern-faced looking Kevin Sheedy. I think he's very worried, Kevin.
He did play that well, Lloyd, didn't he?
Again, it doesn't always get paid, that one, but it's an important kick. If he gets this, all of a sudden in the last minute, they get within the 4 goals again. And I think that's the margin that still gives them hope.
Lloyd for his second. Brisbane Lion fans generally
What are they cheering, Sam?
not into agreeing. I think they're discussing a type of fertiliser that was dumped at Punt Road earlier this week. So Lloyd, big kick for his second goal. Could virtually keep them in the game, this one. He's a champion. Lloyd gets his second. And a wiping of the brow for Kevin Sheedy. Flags in 84, 85, 93 and 2000. He's got an extraordinary record as Sheeds. And he's looking for another big season in 2001. But one game at a time. First of all, I've got to get over the Brisbane Lions. We've got just seconds remaining in the quarter. Mark Harvey on Sheedy's right. He's his right-hand man. Can they get another one before three-quarter time? Rioli gets out, goes onto his left foot. There's been a whistle.
Ball held to him. I think he's going to ball it up again.
It was a quick whistle, wasn't it?
It was.
It was, because
they normally let it go a bit now, don't they?
Heffernan and co were ready to go across that half-forward line.
Hurd's pushed forward. Fletcher's pushed forward. Just looking for a late goal, the Bombers.
47, plays 68. Sheeds on the sidelines. Lee Matthews also waiting. Charman wins it, but it's smashed by Jacobs down towards Heffernan. If he gets a free run, watch out for Chris Heffernan. Rioli's going there with him. Heffernan loses it to Pike. Pike says, darn this, I'm going again for the line. And he'll just about find it on the outer side. Solomon tries to keep it in. He does well to Heffernan. Heffernan, it's a high floating kick. Essendon need a mark. Fletcher is there, but he's tipped inside out. Loses it. Siren! Maybe a behind right on the line.
I don't think there should be any score there.
Let's see what happens as the men in white confer. One behind will stand.
Oh, that could be a crucial point, that one.
One behind right on the siren. And it's a 20-point ball game at three-quarter time with the Brisbane Lions leading. James Hurd having a few words, and the opposing skipper Michael Voss there as well.
He may have had a case for a free kick, Dustin Fletcher there.
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
That's probably what James is having a little bit of a chat about.
Ever so politely inquiring as to how one might go about getting a free kick.
As you would. As you
Interesting
would.
though, guys. 9 scoring shots to Essendon in that quarter. They really did have a lot of the ball up forward. Could have really been a lot closer with some set shots that they missed.
Let's have a look at this in replay once again. And
Darryl White's got a pretty good grip with the left arm of Dustin Fletcher and then drags him out of the way. That's a free kick.
Ripped him to the ground.
That's a free kick.
Well, Fletcher's been a little unfortunate. I think there's a couple that he could have got tonight.
Yep.
However,
They're not out of it, Sandy.
No, they're not out of it. And it's all set up. We've had 3 absorbing quarters and we've got 1 to go. Can the Lions return to the winners list at home? Going into the final quarter, they lead by 20 points. Three-quarter time here at the Gabba. 1 quarter of footy to go, and what an important quarter it's going to be, especially for the Brisbane Lions. 10-8, 68. They lead the reigning champs, 6-12, 48.
The AFL, in association with its premier partner, Carlton and United, proudly presents the 2001 Premiership season.
The other match being played tonight is that between St Kilda and Melbourne. If you don't want to know the score of that contest, look away now, because here it comes.
That's extraordinary.
Welcome back. Yes, Jason, you can't give anything away,
That's
my boy. Let's go down to Victoria Carthy on the boundary line. Vic.
Thanks, Andy. Kevin Sheedy said you need to come out straight away and start scoring. If you don't, the Lions will get a roll on and the night will be over. As the Lions, Lee Matthews said, just win the quarter or else everything you've done tonight will count for nothing. Win the quarter, win the match.
Spot on there. Win the quarter, you've won the match. But they've got all that ahead of them. 20 points the margin. Here we go. Record crowd. Wonderful night. And a good game of football. Keating readies himself. Robran is on the ball for the Bombers. Straight down the throat.
He nearly went the wrong way
of
then.
Ramanaskas. He had a double take, but then he got his act together. Wide. This is Ackermanis. Ackermanis is running, so too is Black. Black is with him, but Ackers decides to go. Puts them inside 50. Big guns are there. Hardwick comes in from the side, and he's paid a free kick to Bradshaw.
Gee.
Directly in front, 40 metres out, and the quizzical look on the face of Damien Hardwick.
He's paid it against Sean Wellman, this one.
Yep.
And, gee, I'd like to have another look at it. You can see Bradshaw asking for it, but we've seen a couple where Fletcher didn't get it at the other end. That looked a lot worse than that one. But it may have been there.
What a kick this is. 40 metres out.
He got it.
What a start in the final quarter for the Brisbane Lions. A big goal in the context of this game. Bradshaw back into the side this week, gets his first.
You see the kick coming in from Ackermanis. And we're tracking the ball. I wonder if he had a handful of jumper at the front of Bradshaw.
Bradshaw was looking at the umpire, wasn't he? So he's appealing. Here we go. Can't really tell from that.
Can I just say that there's been plenty that have gone missing unnoticed tonight.
So Bradshaw gets his first goal, second week back.
Well, just what the Gabba crowd were looking for. The first goal for the Lions. Keating. He's getting on top in the middle, but Essendon have been good at coming off the line to get it first. Black, caught, wrapped up by Peveril. Good tackle, going nowhere. And Keating's getting up first, but they're reading it the best at the moment, the Bombers. Jason, you mentioned at half-time that Brisbane probably have to kick 13 goals. And it's looking that way, isn't it? Another couple of goals.
A couple more. It's going to be very difficult for the Bombers now.
Yeah.
They needed to kick the first one.
But they will come. And here's Ackermanis. He's been well held by Peveril. It goes long, and that might go all the way. Oh! Gee, got some carry on it and just bounced off to the left. One behind.
Matty Ramanaskas receiving some treatment on the sideline.
Thanks, Victoria. 11-9, 6-12.
Been pretty quiet, Jason Ackermanis, but he's the sort of player that in the space of 5 minutes could seal the win for the Lions.
Yeah, he'll run hard. There's a free kick.
Outside the square.
Well, things just aren't going right for Essendon.
It's been one of those nights, hasn't it? Everything that could go wrong has gone wrong. Every decision that could go either way has gone against them. And, yeah, looks like his left foot is outside the
Both
square.
feet, yeah. But, I mean, you know, it's one of those ones where you see, sometimes you see a player do it and you think, gee, he's outside the square, and they just let it go.
Yeah.
So not a good couple of minutes for Sean Wellman. It'll be a terrible couple of minutes if Brisbane can manufacture a goal. Will they rush through or behind? Keating slaps it back. Black, caught.
Oh, was he tripped?
Voss, strength, got rid of it. Here's a chance. Chris Scott wants support. Ackermanis, can he get around Peveril? He wants to. Now he hooks it back to Keating in the goal square. He's going to get it. Yes! Clever kick, Ackermanis. Spotted him. Oh, free kick.
Shepherding out's gone to Henneman.
Well, we've had 3 decisions right in front of the goal at that end, and they're all going berserk behind the goals.
Rioli steadies and just decides to cool it for a moment as he gives it to Robran, off to Hurd. Hurd goes up towards Barnard. He's between centre wing and right half forward. Robran has made space and he continues to go. Now Spears in the pass. Just retaining his calm, he finds Matthew Lloyd.
And I think Lloyd has made a conscious decision. He put the hand up. He said, settle down, fellas. I'm going to go back and have a shot at this one because it's pretty important. We've got to answer the early goal from the Lions. It looked like Clark Keating was about to kick a certainty down the other end. All of a sudden, a quick change of decision. And a good pass from Jonathan Robran. And Lloyd lines up for goal. Take a good kick from 50.
Been pretty quiet tonight with limited opportunities. He's kicked 2. Oh, that's a magnificent kick. They hang on, the Bombers. He's kicked number 3.
Well, the one thing he has done tonight, Matthew Lloyd, he hasn't had a lot of opportunity, but he's kicked the ball particularly well when he's had the chance. 3 straight goals, 7 kicks, 5 marks, the 1 hand pass. He has suffered a little bit at the reorganisation of the Bombers forward line with Fletcher and Solomon going forward at different stages of the game. He hasn't played his normal position out of the goal square, which is a shame because he's clearly the best full forward going around. You'd love to see him one out, given the chance to kick a big bag. But a great kick nonetheless.
Lloyd has 3 for the Bombers. Lynch has 3 for Brisbane. So too does Jonathan Brown. And they continue to hang on. Keating. Robran off the back of Robran down towards Johnson, up to the half-forward line. Lloyd comes crashing out, almost ran into Pike.
Well, here's another
little hand pass. Oh, this is looking good. Here they come. Here they come. Corey McGrath kicks the goal. And the Bombers hit back.
Gee, I'm glad he kicked the goal, Corey McGrath, because he had a player either side of him. They could have run it right in and kicked it from point blank, but he just turned and lined them up and kicked it. You'll just see, once the ball comes forward, the hand pass from Barnard, he's got a player either side. They're waiting, but he's kicked it, and all of a sudden, 2 on the trot, 2 quick ones. And Essendon supporters coming out in voice. A few doubts in the minds of the Lions players now.
Well, it's the closest they've been since early in the second quarter. They're within 3 kicks
The
now.
Lions have controlled the game, but they're within 3 kicks.
And they're taking it away from the middle. Hurd decides to go alone. Not going, getting it free somehow, Brisbane, but the whistle has gone. 15 points. A couple of minutes ago with Keating in the square, you're looking at 6-goal margin.
Tell you what, if they kick the next one, the Bombers, just wonder how they'll react mentally, the Lions players.
Robert now in the ruck on Keating, Lappin and Johnson, and Michael still with Lloyd. Black couldn't quite get the kick. Pike. Gee, unlucky bounce for all players concerned there. And free kick.
Soft. He just slid in Dean Solomon, and
Lappin breaks.
pretty soft free kick from Martin Pike, that one.
And now it's Lynch. And Bradshaw! Well, he can certainly take a mark. 8 marks last week in about 2 and a bit quarters. And he's already kicked 1 in this quarter. This more difficult, the angle, virtually 45 degrees.
It's a good mark. He actually led the other side, and Pike kicked it for Alistair Lynch, but in the end, he was the one that got back there in time to take the mark.
Needs to kick this for Brisbane to maintain the lead. It's staying, it's staying, it's stayed! Two goals to Bradshaw, 2 timely goals, and statement of the obvious, Jason.
Well, they'll breathe a sigh of relief, the Lions. That was the perfect answer after Essendon kicked the last 2. But I tell you what, when he set that ball up in the air, he stopped, he leaned. They all thought it was going to fade right, and they waited till it went through, and then they went up as one, the Brisbane Lions players. They realise how important it is, and they're making it very tough for the Bombers to get back into this game.
Bradshaw has 2 in this quarter. Tough now for the Bombers. They've got to keep answering the challenge.
If they get 1 more, the Lions, they'll be home.
Keating up against Robrin. Keating smashes down towards Lynch. Needs someone going past. They've got it. Look at that. Beautifully done. It finishes with Voss. He kicks towards Bradshaw again, who's broken away to the left. Can he turn Wellman inside out? No, he can't. He tried. Ackermanis a little paddle. Didn't find his target again in Bradshaw. They were the only 2 Lions there, and there'll be a throw in, but they've got it deep in their attacking zone. In the left forward pocket.
Is it blood rule? Yep. Aaron Henneman going off.
Being sent. Fletcher sprinting from one end of the ground to the other, and because it's a double blood rule here, James Hurd is also off.
Sean Hart
is off.
Lions.
Well, let's all go off.
This is like a track meet at the moment. Players are just turning and sprinting.
Well, Lee Matthews did say, if it bleeds, we'll kill it. There's 2 off bleeding at the moment.
And he said that, and you had the frog.
Oh, the frog. Don't forget the frog.
Faring in the well. So just a little bit of a pause.
Tim Notting comes on to replace Sean Hart.
These players swapping from position to position. Notting had a great first half, didn't he?
He spent some time on the bench, just wondering whether it was for a rest or he might have run himself ragged.
18 possessions. Hurd receives a little more treatment. Fletcher didn't take it. Here's Ackermanis. This is dangerous. He bends it back brilliantly. That's Acker. And that could be the ball game. It could.
That is the ball game, and that is a magnificent finish. Jason Ackermanis has been pretty well held by Damien Peverill. He's had just the 15 possessions, Ackermanis, the 1 goal. Peverill with 15 possessions as well. You'd say he's done a very good job. But Ackermanis in this last quarter, he's looked dangerous on a couple of occasions. He's set 1 or 2 up, and that time he just took it, attacked the ball, finished it himself, took it upon himself to win the game for the Lions, and what a great goal it was.
Amazingly, we haven't had a lot of score. We've had 5 goals kicked in this quarter already, and we're not a quarter way through it yet.
No, there's plenty of time left, don't worry.
Yeah.
There's no hasta la vista baby yet.
Here's Black. He's been very, very good. Voss, high, up and under it. Tough one to mark. Mark Johnson leads for it. Coming out, making some speed on that was Bradshaw. Wellman, back to Jason Johnson, and Bradshaw butt it down. That's exactly what Lee Matthews wants from Bradshaw. Second effort coming across for the smother. His confidence is rising. And you mentioned Ackermanis. He is that sort of player that in the last quarter can just run hard and cut you up. 27 points. Lions have to kick the last 2 to steady the ship. Keating on top in the ruck. Jason Johnson, Voss, Hardwick, Black. Just tapped it out towards Bradshaw.
Did well, didn't he?
Just, and it goes in again, Black. He's ridden in the ground by Hardwick, who just loves physical pressure, physical presence.
He does a lot of little things off the ball, Simon Black, that just assist his teammates.
Yep.
Look at that.
Very clever, and 23 possessions to boot as well. And as we know, he will continue to run. Over the top, missing it was Mark Johnson. That was very clever. Goes to Lucas. Here come the Bombers now. He gets about 60 metres on the kick. Pike forcing it forward. Reading it beautifully was Barnard. Out in front of Lloyd. It's a race against Michael. Lloyd, he should win the race. Does he get a good bounce? No! Oh, if you're an Essendon supporter, you're wondering what's going on. Nothing's going right, Sandy.
Pike on the outer side.
He should have run into an open goal.
He won't mind it.
What about the bounce?
Lappin.
It's just not their night, the Bombers, is it?
No, it is not, I'm afraid. McRae. '87 plays 60. 27 points, the Lions lead.
A couple of goals tonight to Craig McRae, 11 possessions. This is his 12th. He's just getting better the more footy he plays. You can just see that's gone sideways.
That's unbelievable.
Sideways in the goal square.
Scott returns.
Well, the one thing the Lions do have to do is keep attacking when they have the opportunity.
Run hard.
They can't just play totally defensively now in this last quarter. They've got to stick with the game plan.
Still over 14 minutes remaining. Essendon got as close as 15 points. Keating tried to push to the side. Johnson trying to keep it in play. Goes again. Off to Scotty Lucas. Lucas with that long left foot bombs it up towards half forward. Keating in from the side. Solomon is there. Robrin caught by Pike. And he's unceremoniously dumped. Solomon in over the top once again. Chrissy Johnson is there as well. He's had a big night. So too is Chris Scott. And there'll be a ball up. .27 points the margin as the Lions approach the halfway mark of the season.
A little bit of tension there on that bench, wasn't there?
I think so.
Black out of the middle, kicks it long, but only as far as James Hird. Now Essendon can really set up here. Kicks in towards McGrath. Kicked a goal already in this quarter. McGrath, a long, long lead, a good lead. Oh, he just almost took it, Lloyd. He's got the free kick for the push.
Well,
now that's just going to test in the distance, though, isn't it? Because Michael's outside 50.
He is. It'll take a 55-minute drop punt.
He's going on. He's playing on, boys.
He hasn't got the distance. It's going to the square. Who can take a mark? Danny Jacobs.
He just didn't need to do it now, Michael, did he? It's unfortunate. When you think the player's going to mark the ball, you want to make him earn it.
And the kick, in the end, has gone to James Hird for a shepherding free kick. And it's all clear, one goal. Still plenty of time, Sandy.
Again, they just won't go away, the Bombers, will they? They haven't played well. Things haven't gone particularly right for them. They've had plenty of players not at their best tonight, but they won't go away. Too much class. They just don't lie down.
Neither will that cut on the forehead of Hird. Some discussion that the blood rule could come into vogue again. He just subtly wipes it.
Doing his best Brendan Fraser impersonation, isn't he?
Back in the middle we go. Keating wins it. They can't take it away, though. It's Johnson who lumbers it down to half forward. What a mark
that is
by Lloyd.
Super mark. That is a brilliant mark under all sorts of pressure. he just attacked that full on, and in the one grab took it beautifully. Have a look at this. Good tap from Clark Keating, but the kick came forward, and that's just a super grab. Gee, I'll tell you what, if he slots this through,
Back to 15.
there'll be a few doubts. They'll feel it. They've done so much hard work, the Lions, tonight. They just... Gee, you'd nearly shoot yourself if you let this one get away, wouldn't you?
He's going to have a crack at this. There's no short passing here.
Great angle of the goals here.
Kicking for number 4.
He'll make the distance. It's all about accuracy.
Lloyd from 55 metres. It's away to the left.
Well, I'll tell you what, he has kicked the ball exactly where he ran. One thing you have to do when you're lining up for goal is make sure you run straight, and he didn't do it. He drifted out to the left, and he kicked it to the left.
20 points now. Still, as you can see there, plenty of time on the clock. And it's going to be a long quarter because 16 minutes have already gone, and we're not even halfway through. So there's going to be some tense moments yet. White missed it over the back.
How are your maths there?
Well, there's already been 16 minutes elapsed on the clock as far as time goes, not time remaining, as in playing time.
And we're not even halfway
I'll explain
through.
it to you after the game.
Love to hear that one, Matty.
Julius Sumner-Miller.
It's quite simple, Jason. Here's the knock by Keating. Did well. Nodding. Gee, got some distance. Gone the torpedo, and he's got 70 metres. He's got it all the way out to the half-forward flank.
I think that came out of the same book as the frog in the well, Jason.
Gotcha.
You stick with Schwarzenegger, Sandy. I'll stick to the numbers.
Cool
the
it,
Lions
baby.
lead by 20 points. A wonderful game here on the Saturday Night Football at the Gabba. Huge crowd. Can't get any more into this wonderful little stadium.
No, they're enjoying a great contest.
Keating up against Lucas. Falls towards Lappin and Voss. Oh, look at Simon Black. Skillful. Underground to Lappin. He's going to be caught. He got it to Ashcroft. He's going to be caught. And, well, that's going to be holding the ball. That's a very lucky Marcus Ashcroft.
Probably is. He just ducked as he saw the tackle come in, but the ball was locked in, so paid the benefit of the doubt. And I don't think that's a particularly bad result. Gee, it was good hands from Lappin. It was probably a split-second opportunity to get rid of it, but look, I'm happy with the decision from the umpire.
Now, will anyone come over the top? Yes, it was going to be Hurd, but went for Lucas. Couldn't get a kick. Black, down in low. Lucas towards McGrath. Slapped it towards the boundary. They want to keep it in the Bombers because they need to score goals. Voss, strength, Ashcroft. Underground, searching for Keating. Bit ambitious. Look at Voss go again. Underneath. Good work. Good strong work by Brisbane.
Nice to see the crowd appreciating it too.
They're getting their money's worth, aren't they?
$20 points the margin. Keating again with the right fist straight to Hurd. Peverill to do the shepherding. Allow Hardwick through. McGrath's hand pass is okay. Away go the Bombers now through Foster Knight. Up towards the half-forward line. Pike shepherded out. Copeland takes the mark. Call to play on. Heffernan's on him. Causes him to push wide, and he does that to Darryl White. White, always pretty cool and calm, finds Ackermanis.
It's been his best quarter, the last one, Jason Ackermanis.
Copeland. At half-back. 20 points, 10 minutes.
No options.
Short to Lappin, who was standing virtually next to him. He goes short again, finding McRae.
Ran a long way, though.
Pinpoint accuracy required, and he's just going to go back to Lappin. An equilateral triangle.
He'll go forward at some stage.
Now, well,
to a big pack of players on centre wing, and they see it over. Keating is sidelined.
Hasn't had a lot of the ball, Clark Keating, only the 3 possessions, 2 marks, but he has been very good at the centre bounces.
Sharman, Lucas onto that left foot, high towards the middle. So the race is on now. An important ball to win. McVeigh, is he gone? Johnson's over the top.
That has to be.
Gone.
He did that beautifully, Chris Johnson. He didn't panic, he didn't rush in. He just had to trap the ball on Mark McVeigh, and he knew he'd get the free kick. He's had a very, very good night, Chris Johnson.
Yep. Right from the word go. He's been excellent.
Charming.
Oh, great kick.
Big man does it easily. He's an exciting youngster, an enthusiastic youngster. Really likes to get into it, and he gets it down to the forward line. Smashed down in front, waiting is Ackermanis. He's locked up. Oh, gee. He's allowed play to go on. Lynch has kicked 2 miracle goals. Black tried to get it further afield. Black's at the bottom again. And in the end...
Did that take a long time to get through for a point?
Desperation plus that gets it over the line. Yes, take a swig. And he does, as Fletcher brings it back to Lucas. He marks on half-back. Lucas looks towards centre wing. A high ball. Pike was at the back trying to spoil Henneman. Ashcroft is there as well. He'll want the boundary line. More than happy.
Free kick in the back.
In the back, McKay, in front of a crowd.
He wrapped him up nicely, Barno, but he fell straight into his back.
In front of a crowd, gentlemen, of 36,149, surpassing the old record that was set when they met Carlton in round 16 last year. That was 34,743. So tremendous crowd here tonight.
And they're witnessing perhaps one of the best victories since the merger. They haven't beaten Essendon since the line. See, they're going wide and lateral.
Still like to see them press forward, but
I'll just go down the line to a lead on a diagonal. See, they're really trying to thread the needle here to Brown. I prefer to see Brown, the man they're kicking to at centre forward.
Yep. But I'll tell you what, it is the most valuable 4 points going around throughout a premiership season because so few teams do it.
Voss is clear.
You just gain ground on the rest of the competition if you can knock over the Bombers.
White. Now White runs. Also Charman, the young fella, Lucas. It spills to White. Can he get out of that? Taken high was Charman. Or Darryl White. Darryl White just hobbling off a little bit there. You just expect them to go lateral at the moment, don't you? Why not change it up, go a long tall, 70 metres? They're not expecting it. Because Essendon are quite prepared to just let them do that and just zone back. A bit of space now. If he wants to play on, he doesn't. He's got Mal Michael in the middle. No. It's Brad Scott at the moment. I guess if you're a Brisbane supporter, you're happy that the fact that the clock is starting to run down. It's down to 6.5 minutes.
Getting some attention on his leg, Darryl White. Looks like he might have jarred the knee. Doesn't look particularly good.
Bad kick. Oh, gee, I thought it was. It had to be spot on for Brown. He'll mark him going backwards, no problems at all.
He's played a good game, Jonathan Brown. Hasn't got as much of it as he perhaps would have liked. He still hasn't certainly done too badly. He's had 8 marks coming up for possession number 14.
And they've got all the way back to Michael. They've got to play a free, though. They've now got Ashcroft. So it's worked out.
Good block from Chris Johnson on
and
James Hird.
He's got James Hird. He get over the top to Brad Scott, and he can go forward. Now he can run to goal. And he goes short to Johnson. Will he go back to Brad Scott? Ackermanis short. Bradshaw probably will be the leading forward. Chris Scott 60 metres out. Lions lead by 21 points. If they can get the next goal, it'll be very, very crucial. Up to the goal square. Big pack forming. No Crummers there. Yes, great handball. Great goal. Notting. First goal. Was that Simon Black? I couldn't pick it. That was
feeling it was Simon Black. It was an incredible hand pass. In a split second, you see the long kick from Chris Johnson. Keep your eyes on the hands at the bottom of the pack here. Oh, Simon Black in midair. He hits Tim Notting on the run, who simply finishes off the easiest of goals.
He's supposed to fall over there, isn't he?
And the game's now sewn up.
Well, Tim Notting's going to be credited with the goal, but at least half of it should go to Simon Black. That lightning hand pass when he was in midair. Memorable. And it would be the sealer. Hill is on the ball for the Bombers, but it's the Lions who go charging forward again. Not to be deterred, Notting's kick is wide. Bradshaw and Wellman see it to the line. 94 plays 67. Don't forget i7sport.com.au.
Might want to check out the ladder tonight to see what impact this has, because certainly the Lions will move up.
Well, it's going to leave them nicely at 5-5. They've got the longest trip in football next week. It's to the west. It's the West Coast Eagles, and they're in a nightmare of their own at the moment. Ackermanis, Black's lurking again. Ackermanis might do it on his own. Which way will this one wobble? Oh, Lynchy! Lynchy! He falls again, but he's kicked it. It doesn't matter. Oh, what a night.
As he's going off, I think he might have strained a hamstring, Alistair Lynch. I hope he hasn't. But he wants to go straight off.
4 goals to Alistair Lynch.
He's made the most of it.
Leading scorer on the ground.
He just ducks under the tackle and then slips as he kicks it. I wonder what he's done.
Well, let's just hope from Alistair's point of view that he hasn't done a hamstring, because he's kicked 4.
Yep.
Kicked 4 last week. He's really getting into some form. There you see. He's just grabbing the string. Perhaps when he fell over, slipped underneath.
Yep, he went straight off the ground after the kick. He put his hand up.
That's
so he might have just felt a twinge, but he's been good. He's done his job.
Oh, they all have at the moment, because they're finishing off this game. Essendon surged, got within 15 points, but they have certainly answered. And they've kicked the next... Well, they've kicked 5 goals for the quarter. And there is Alistair Lynch.
Any indications from the bench are, I think it might just be cramp.
Oh, wishful thinking, I think. Let's hope not. From if you're a Brisbane supporter, you'd like to have him out there. He's now their leading goal kicker for the season at 24 goals. Hill in the ruck. Voss somehow got it forward. McVeigh, there's a free, there's a whistle, and it's going to Chris Johnson. Well, what a game for Chris Johnson.
Yep.
Sometimes overuses it, but geez, found himself in the right spot, and he's repelled many an attack. 23rd possession coming up, including 8 marks. And he can go laterally all the way across to Copeland and go backwards a bit, which they've been...
play on.
Play on. Now, underground kick to Darryl White, who goes backwards. Well, plug out. Brown, Lappin, could have gone to Copeland, but decided to go to Johnson, who found himself running. Maybe it was a set play, but a little bit untidy. He's going to get caught. He's gone, holding the ball. Here goes Essendon. Johnson, caught. Copeland, good tackle. Hardwick towards McVeigh. Copeland gets up again. Forces him to ground. Oh, good pressure from the Lions. They were messy, they were untidy, but they kept at it.
Just over 3 minutes remaining in the match. The Lions are in control, leading by 33 points. Hill. Voss. Gives it away towards Brad Scott. Back to Voss. Well intercepted. Notting. Gee, has he had a game and a half. Spent a little time on the bench, but he's been very, very good. The diving mark, too, is taken by Bolton.
Let's be careful, Dustin.
Fletcher on the mark, had his name taken earlier in the night. What appeared to be a tripping charge. Here's Johnson again. And he wants to go long. He's gone for the doctor. Right into the square. The big men are there. Who can take a mark? No one. And it's taken to the line. A throw in the left forward pocket. So Essendon, who are coming into this game on top of the ladder, with Port Adelaide, big winners today. It's going to be very interesting at the top of the ladder. And, of course, the Brisbane Lions knocking on the door of the 8. They'll be 5-5 after 10 rounds. Ackermanis has turned inside out, twisting and turning, gives it to Bolton. Oh, Bolton lets a torp go. A booming punt in towards goal, and it's a behind.
Well, I think now's the time. If you're going to go for a torp, I don't think the coach will mind too much right now when you've got the game won against the Premiers. And he goes back, little Dustin. He's gone once. He wouldn't want to stick that foot out again, would he?
101 plays 67. Becoming a little bit of a habit. McGrath in front of Johnson takes the mark. Kicked the goal earlier in the quarter, Corey McGrath. Gives it off to Scotty Lucas. Quiet night for him tonight, but he's not on his own. Down towards the half-forward line, and Lloyd. 3 goals to Matthew Lloyd. Takes his season's tally to 42. So he's almost on target for the century yet again. To Hill.
No pressure on at all there, was it? It was just, you can have that. Wind the clock down.
Just drifted down into space.
29 and a half minutes gone. They know they're safe. Hill, late inclusion today. Can't even buy himself a birthday present with a goal. He's away to the right and one behind goes on the ball.
There's Headland looking on, and this will be a marvellous victory for Brisbane. Essendon just don't lose football games. This will be their second for the season.
I wonder what film Lee will have in store next week.
Well, it's a long trip, so maybe it'll be a road movie.
He's saving.
Dances with Wolves.
He'll be saving Braveheart for the finals, I think.
Well, Chris Scott is about to run down the clock. They will get a tremendous ovation from this Gabba crowd. A lot of people have come along to see the Premiers, to see the best team in the country. And a lot of people now going to go home satisfied that Brisbane have defeated them.
Hard not to be impressed with their work rate. They came out with a game plan. They were aggressive early and they've stuck to it for 4 quarters.
Notting went up against Charman. Quick hands from Bolton to Johnson. He got it forward. They're working hard still. Here's Jason Johnson. Won't celebrate his 50th. Maybe gets a lucky goal right at the end. It screws off the side of the boot and it'll be out of bounds. And it'll just be a boundary throw in right next to the behind post. Kevin Sheedy. We'll see one slip away. A very rare thing for the Essendon match committee there. Mark Harvey, a little bit forlorn.
Unusual feeling for them, isn't it?
Yeah, they don't lose very often. First time Brisbane Lions have defeated Essendon. They've won their last 5. And a chance now for Black. One more time for Essendon. Here's a chance. Jason Johnson around the corner for one last goal right at the end. And he gets it. And he gets his second.
A tough old night for a lot of the Bombers, particularly in the midfield. They just struggled to get a lot of possessions. Jason Johnson, well, he's one of their better midfielders. He's picked up the 18 possessions tonight, 2 goals. It's a reasonable return. He's tried hard. He was off for a short stage in the 3rd quarter injured. But unfortunately, too many of the Bombers just haven't got enough of the football. And I think the first time you would look down their list and say not one player's picked up 20 possessions is problems, isn't it?
So we're counting down the final 30 seconds. It's pushed towards Ackermanis again. He'll be getting ready for the customary handstand, no doubt. He's got a free kick. To take it just forward of centre, wide to Notting. He could almost run on, and he does. He does. Finish in a blaze of glory from 45 metres, but he slams it away to the left.
Tell you what, Brad Scott, hands on hips, looking at Tim
Saying,
Notting, because
where
he was
am I?
all on his own, about 40 metres out on a 45-degree angle, and just totally ignored.
Well, just a couple of seconds remaining.
Went for another talk.
Fletcher didn't quite get onto it. There it is. In the end, an emphatic victory to the Brisbane Lions. They've broken new ground tonight. And they know it. They're absolutely ecstatic. They have beaten the reigning premiers. They have done it in style in front of a record crowd and a margin of 28 points.
29 points at half-time, so they held on, didn't they?
Yep. Yep, but everyone knew that the challenge would come from Essendon. It did, and they answered the challenge. The Bombers got to within 15 points. Let's go down onto the ground. Victoria.
Thanks, Andy Martin. It's been a long journey, but a fine way to celebrate game 150.
Oh, yeah, definitely playing Essendon top side on that. We knew that we had to come out today and play, and we did that, so we're very happy.
You weren't given much of a chance tonight.
Oh, we gave ourselves enough, so that's all that matters.
And to do that here now, I know you haven't been with the club a long time, but that may go down as one of the club's great victories.
Yeah, we can't get too carried away. Essendon had some injuries tonight, so they weren't at their strongest, so we'll be looking forward to playing them again.
Will there be a quiet celebration tonight?
Nah, straight home for me.
Thanks, Mikey.
Well done, Pikey.
A reformed man.
24 games for Melbourne, 36 for Fitzroy, including a best and fairest, 81 with the Kangaroos, and his 9th tonight for the Lions brings it up to that 150 as Darryl White hobbles over to Rioli and offers his commiserations and no doubt receives a little pat on the back. This record crowd of over 36,000 giving this team a standing ovation
And I think the players certainly showing their appreciation for the crowd that's turned out and supported them tonight, Sandy. They've been in good voice all night, the Gabba crowd. And the players, to a man, going to all parts of the ground and really showing their appreciation.
In the crowd to the left of screen, they've had all the action. They've had some marvellous things happen. Some great goals.
The Lynch goals.
Ackermanis goal. Some controversial decisions.
Not allowed
reversal
goals.
decisions, yes.
The point right on three-quarter time. All happened at that end. They've got their money's worth. They're about to get a little bit more from Jason Ackermanis, I think.
Yeah, well, they've come to expect it. In fact, not only expect it, they've come to demand it.
Well, he's criticised in certain circles for it, but it's the individual. That's the way he is.
No, the game needs its characters, Matty. I'm sure you'll agree with that. And he certainly is one of them. But he can back it up with some very good footy. He's had an excellent season. So the Lions will turn as they head west to take on the West Coast Eagles at 5-5. And it's not a bad position to be in, Jason.
No, I think it was an important win tonight because if they had have lost tonight, they fall right out of the race for the 8, don't they?
Yep.
It's a long way back, and even if you do come back, you basically only claw your way into the bottom part of the 8. And I think if you're going to be fair income this year, you've got to probably be in the top 4 to be any sort of hope.
They can consolidate over the next month with a game at West Coast.
They've got a good run
3
now.
games at home. There's still a lot of games at home to come, so a real opportunity.
Look, I know we pump up the Bombers continually, but it's hard not to because they're so good. It's like getting a win over the rest of the field when you knock off the Bombers. Because you just pencil in that everyone else is going to get beaten by them. We got this 4 points.
Admittedly, Essendon certainly not at full strength, but you still put a team out on the field.
It's got to take its toll eventually, though, doesn't it? When you're missing that many of your premiership players and out of your best 22, it's been tremendous the way they've covered it, but eventually, I mean, if you've got that many players out, you have to be vulnerable, don't you?
A third of the team.
Yep, you've got to be vulnerable. And they certainly showed that tonight. But the Lions, to their credit, they were the ones good enough to come out and take them head on and get away with the match.
They were the ones that showed the intensity from the start and led by Jonathan Brown.
Oh, didn't he bowl a few over and crashed into them early?
Now here's the race
for the centre circle.
As the players head down into their rooms, the race is on.
Oh, he was saluting.
He's done an Alistair Lynch, and has he done a hamstring? We'll just have to wait and see. But let's go back to the rooms because these boys are going to be in fine voice. Lee Matthews still in control. Come on, boys, in here. Time for a chat. Let's keep everything on a nice even keel. We've won tonight by 28 points, and we're back in the race. It's season 2001.